Everybody, welcome to the Break the Rules stream. I'm your host, Lev Polyakov, at LevPo on Twitter, Giovanni Pennacchietti, Giant Geo on Twitter, Saturnalia Sundown, Saturnalia Sund1 on Twitter, and finally, Turkey Tom, Zapti, I'm screwing it up, Z-A-P,
right.
Zapti on Twitter, Z-A-P-T-I-E-E. Welcome, everybody, to another stream. We are once again absorbing the Jule, and we are going to be talking about the latest goings-on in the world of CWC. Christine, Weston Chandler, and Geo, you've been following the story, as I'm sure everybody else has here. But one thing I quickly wanted to say, in terms of one's karmic debt, so to speak, what I decided to do yesterday is I went to alz.org, and I'm going to link it to everybody here. It is a Alzheimer's Association charity, and I donated to that charity. What I would recommend you guys do is donate there, or find a charity of your choice, and donate there, and hope everybody gets to do that. And later on, you can also donate to BTR, which would be the equivalent of donating to an autism charity. So I think that would be very helpful. But anyway,
already starting off to a bad omen. I had a terrible fucking night last night. I had a leg Charlie horse, and I had my ankle, and I think it was an omen. I think I was, well, anyways, bad things to come. So let's get this started. Just really quick promotion. In order to follow along with the stream, I highly recommend, if you could link it in the chat, Lev, to quickly read while we're chatting, Saturnalia's thread on the thelemic occult implications of Christology in general. But it's quite a well-researched thread. I'm always amazed by the work of Saturnalia, as always. And also, Turkey Tom, when you're done this stream, go and watch his hour-long, comprehensive, not done before documentary on Felix Gelberg, PewDiePie. He did a lot of work, invested a lot in it, quality, amazing. I can't believe that, how CWC looks exactly like Aleister Crowley. That doesn't say anything. My God. Oh my God. Oh. Terrible.
Well, another thing before we get right into it, I just want to say that I don't know necessarily what is the ultimate truth here or not. I'm not just talking about the occult stuff. I'm also talking about what exactly we've been reading, because it may turn out that everything is completely false, but just for the sake of this conversation, let's assume it's all true. That's.
I think it's true because there's a pattern there. For instance, when I've said before in previous streams, when Christine, and again, we're only using because of YouTube. I personally don't give a shit. But when Christine, for example, would selectively say certain things and lie about it, but then eventually tell the truth, or was goaded into it by this terrible troll that, as someone said in the chat, makes Blue Spike look like a saint, this janky girl, which we will get into. But basically, Christine started off saying that, no, it was this older woman I'm dating, but then some certain details was slipping out. Then eventually we all probably heard that tape describing Christine and Barb. And I think it's a similar pattern to when Christine lied about drawing those Megan Schroeder pictures, saying that, no, actually, it's not Megan Schroeder that I'm like fingering, but it's my sister, fictional sister Crystal in Sonichu. Some like really convoluted. I mean, what's better, saying you just fessed up to drawing erotica of your friend, or, well,
also, what's
your imaginary sister?
Yeah. Also, what's better, saying Megan's mirror or Crystal's mirror? It's Megan's mirror sounds a lot better.
Oh God,
sounds like a great Nintendo DS video game.
Christine draw like you know that medical, like you know when it's like from the inside view. You know that one, Lev?
Yes, if you're talking about his drawings of Sonichu and Rojichu's anatomy, digestive system and reproductive system. That is something that he did in the comic where he was showing Sonichu and Rosichu having sexual intercourse. But my favorite picture, now that you reminded me of that, my favorite picture was the one that was from the point of view of the mouth of Rosichu.
Yeah,
when it
that
comes
was
to,
the one. That was the one. Yeah.
When it comes to the blowjob, because that's just, that is, I mean, it's very artistic in a way just to think about, you know, as if there was a spiritual eye inside of the mouth when that whole thing was going on.
Well, before we get into it, who is in the chat that said, Cyber Ninja Zero, I'm 100% vindicated. No, I still believe that Christine has moral culpability. Just that, I don't know. It's kind of hard because this woman is a total psycho. Let's
ask the panel. So
let's ask
Tom,
Saturnalia.
Okay, Saturnalia. What do you think? And well, no, before the thread, I want to find out from Saturnalia and Tom, how much moral culpability would you say Christine has
for the various atrocities over the years?
So I would say that Christine has accrued terrible culpability for the things that they've done. I mean, no matter how manipulated or goaded Christine was into doing this, I mean, I think there still have to be legal consequences, whether that means going to prison or whether that means going to, you know, I mean, maybe something more appropriate like a mental health facility where they don't let you out. I think that Christine has demonstrated that there is no way they can live on their own, or no way where they can be, have power or responsibility over anyone like Barb. So even if they were manipulated by Isabella Janke, which I think is highly likely, I don't think it really matters. I think that no matter how much manipulation went on, it's still what happened,
Yeah.
But as far as justice goes, there are some people that we lock up in mental institutions. There are other people that we apply the harsh hand of the justice system towards and lock them in prison. So as far as what exactly would be, I guess, fair in this kind of situation, it goes back to the question I had originally of what is the moral level of a person who is in the state that Chris is in, as opposed to like some, I don't know, just some psychopath or hardened criminal, that would know exactly what they were doing. That's what I still don't get.
I mean, I guess this obviously gets back to whether or not there's that theory of like whether you believe in like restorative or punitive justice or whatever. And I don't really have an opinion on that personally, but I don't think that Christine would do well or benefit at all from, going to like Gen Pop in like a federal prison.
Green light. It would be terrible. Yeah. It would never happen.
There would be nothing but trouble both for them and the other prisoners who would,
even in an SNY, even in an SNY yard, I think Christine would probably have, like, in some ways they say that's even worse because you're in there with all the sex offenders. So I think the only option would probably be to go to a, like you've said, a mental, well, they used to call them, insane asylums.
The nut house.
Yeah, an asylum. Someone in the chat was talking about how Ralph hate. Yeah, I agree. Like, okay, I don't agree with Kiwi Farms trying to troll shield and trying to sort of downplay Christine's problems. But I think it's everyone knows I have kind of a negative opinion on Ethan Ralph, but I think that it is quite interesting how all of these people are sort of warring over the narrative, if you will. But anyway, so Turkey Tom, what do you think? You've had some tweets go viral over this. You have been a close observer as well. When you're not like producing absolute Kino documentaries,
Thank
you. You've been on this case. But of course, I will have to quickly denounce Turkey Tom because he recently has acquired a GF. So he is
oh my God.
pretending he is no longer one of us crowd. I'm sorry. Gonna have to denounce you. Give me your insult card right now. Anyway, congratulations, my friend.
Thanks, Al.
So what has been your observation I know that your tweet in particular was generating a lot of discourse over this. So,
and by the way, do you guys remember my old friend Tom Turkey?
What did you do to him, dude? What did you do?
What did you do?
He lost weight. That's what happened. He's just he went on the Atkins diet.
Wow. Well, I have been working out lately, so I guess that parallels real life.
There you go.
But yeah. So I mean, I'm no expert on punitive justice or how we should deal with this. I think probably the state will make the right choice in the end. I'd say probably, we shouldn't be sending this guy to like Rikers Island or something like that, right? Like he probably doesn't belong there. As far as the actual consequences, I think no matter what, he should be in a position where he can't interact with normal everyday people who he should harm. That's basically my only stipulation. As long as that happens, I'll probably be happy. Should he be held accountable for what he did? I mean, yeah. And, regardless of what Isabella Janke did, whether that's true or not, I fell on like a little rabbit hole last night with that when I was looking down this shit. So like a few days ago, I saw like the video by like Sallow Dawn. I saw that. And then I saw a few other videos about it. I was reading the Kiwi thread. I have like an archive link of that, which is, it's frustrating with Kiwi right now because they're being so consistently DDoS that I can't click any of the links on the thread, or they just redirect to like Null's Twitter. So that kind of sucks. But regardless, like, I think it's probably true, from everything I've seen. Like, it seems like a pretty comparable story. I don't think this is some like huge gay op. I saw Ethan Ralph kind of tweeting about that. He was saying,
he thinks that it's a ploy by various trans activists and other. He says the ADL. I don't know. I mean, there's evidence that this janky girl is probably, lack of a better term, like glowy adjacent because of her father, and who knows if her father's behind
I saw that. Yeah, that was interesting. I don't know why her father would be behind a DDoS if this is going on. I mean, maybe he knows how fucked up his daughter is and is trying to save her ass. But I saw on the official Kiwi Twitter account, they were tweeting about how like this is a DDoS like he's never seen before. This isn't like an average like rent a DDoS you use for like a Minecraft server.
I have a tweet that I got from 4chan because I am blocked by Ethan Ralph for following PPP. But let me find it. Basically, Ralph says that oh god, he says that basically it was all concocted by Null, in that it was a way to sort of by playing up, quote unquote, the litany of atrocities of this, I think, severely disturbed and just terrible girl, woman, whatever. It's a way to deflect more from the moral culpability that Christine, whatever. I think that, I hate to say it as much as it pains me, but I think Ethan Ralph has a bit of a point to an extent that I think that what this girl has done is literally demonic, if the stories are true. But at the same time, certain activists, let's call it, they're using this as a way to deflect from what Christine has done, not just in this incident, but all of the times Christine has groped and harassed women, and all of the times, whether it was aided or abetted by trolls or not, there's been just a whole history that I think people are forgetting of the various grifting and exploiting her mother for.
But even with
I mean, the thing is, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, but real quick, even with the exploiting of her mother, if it's something like buying Lego sets or doing something that's absolutely childish, again, part of me wonders how much the brain is still there. If we were to get like a 5-year-old to, quote-unquote, exploit their parents by stealing their money, would it be the same situation?
Well, no, but I think... Well, go ahead, Turkey Tom, go ahead.
Sorry, I was just going to say, I think, I don't think there's any truth to the idea that it's all a gay op and it's all being faked. That being said, I will agree, obviously, I think Ralph is right in that, you know, any story will be spun a certain number of ways. I remember
Yeah.
even within the Sallow Dawn video, he didn't just say, when he was talking about a trans person who supposedly Isabella Janke had committed or contributed to the suicide of, he didn't say a trans person. He said a beautiful, brave trans woman or something like that.
Yeah.
So just hearing that makes me think, like, you know, like, I don't know anyone who describes people as beautiful, brave, straight people. You know what I mean? Like the way they're saying it makes you think, okay, there is some agenda here. Maybe there's something being pushed for sure. But regardless of that, you know, I think, you know, what this Jank character did is probably real. I think, you know, there's enough kind of evidence that I've seen that, like, maybe you can't prove it in a court of law, but there's enough that I've seen to be like, okay, this is a really fucked up person. Like you said, literally demonic, evil human being.
Well, I wanted to get Saturnalia's take, because some of the stuff that you read on the thread, and I read it before it was totally DDoSed, the Kiwi Farms, the compilation on this Isabella Janke. I think there's pretty a good reassurance that she is either a sociopath or a psychopath, because there's so much different sadomasochistic trends here, not just from the bullying, but also this fixation with bodily fluids. This I was reading
wanting to purposely infect a pet of theirs, you know, the cat, in order for
there's also while the animal is boiling her hamster, but God. I've read other things, like, for example, her doing rituals with her menstrual fluids and things of this nature. I think that there's a lot of if you watch Sallow, which is based off of the Marquis de Sade book, there's a lot of a similar theme of, like, extreme fascistic or communistic political beliefs mixed in with this sort of reverence for filth and bodily fluids, mixed in with just sadistic tendencies.
But she's supposed to be, isn't she supposed to be more around the neo-Nazi circle or not? That's what I keep
apparently
hearing.
She's a racist and a transphobe, but I'm saying, like, in general, it seems that there's, like, a tendency towards this sort of edgelord, like, radical beliefs. But
I'm just annoyed, like, everyone who talks about it, I can already see all the news articles, instead of saying what she did, like all this fucked up shit she did, the title is going to be white nationalist who did this.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Like, why can't we say, like, you know, poor Goober the cat, like, rest in peace, or that dog to help them dog?
No, it'll be like I mean, first of all, this girl is too young to have been around in the heydays of the alt-right, but I mean, not that there's some perverse
she reminds me of two different things, but I want to get to Saturnalia's take first. And Saturnalia, when it also comes to somebody like Marina Abramovic, for example, that is somebody that I may relate as far as menstrual blood, things like that, to this person.
Yes, someone said she panders to John Smith. She panders to the alt-right so they can act as her shield. Yeah, I think, like, she's consciously playing up this sort of, like, le-based red-pilled e-girl image that she could sort of exploit. So you'll have people who are a bit more, like, right-wing adjacent, like Ethan Ralph, that'll be like, well, it's just a gay op and all this. But I think, like, I don't know. I mean, I think most, like, extremely online right-wingers are pretty much... I think we've learned our lesson, and I don't know. I hope so. And also, shout out to Jugs in the chat.
Which Jugs? There's two Jugs.
It's the Jugs that.
Okay. Yeah. And by the way, once again, everybody subscribe who is listening to this right now. We are on all the major platforms. We are simultaneously streaming this on DLive, on Twitch, on YouTube, on Facebook, on all that stuff, as well as the audio platforms. And I'm going to get to that later. I'm going to post all the links. Anyway, Saturnalia, what do you think, my friend?
Wow, that's a lot of things to address really fast, man. So, I mean, I think it's pretty obvious that she has some sort of, you know, real psychiatric condition, be that sociopathy or psychopathy or whatever. So just so far outside the bounds of any sort of normalcy, I'm honestly kind of scared of her.
Yeah.
I mean, someone like that is really, you know, capable of anything. Anyway, the whole, you know, sort of transgressive style there. I mean, I doubt she has any sort of authentic ideological commitment to any sort of political movement. I think it's pretty clear that it's, you know, being used to, you know, be another facet of this edgy lifestyle. The comparison to Marina Abramovic is pretty apt. I mean, I think we know I'm kind of obsessed with her. The allegations of like, I think that people in Kiwi Farms are saying some sort of pagan ritual with the menstrual blood. I don't know exactly what that would entail. It's so interesting to me that seems to provide like a counterbalance, or like it's like the mirror image of Chris Chan playing with his you know what in Fanta.
Recycling.
Maybe there's a little bit of symbolism
Oh.
extant there.
Well, there's a lot of infantalization going on.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
But it's funny because Christine was trying to preserve the vril through recycling, but this janky girl is doing it as a form of left-hand path magic. Apparently, this is what people in the farm say.
Chris is the right, Isabella Janke is the left. This is what Crowley talked about with the whore of Babylon astride the beast, right? Her cup is the blood of the saints, the liquor of her fornication, right?
Yeah.
That's
true. And it says, as it says in Revelation, right around chapter 12, she came out of the pit along with the red one, and then it's sort of like, it is funny how a quote unquote boyfriend free girl is the one that condemns Christine the most.
There's like a very archetypal like fulfillment here. Like I can't think of like, psychically, perhaps mystically speaking, anyone better to be like the final boss of Christian. Although obviously
the boyfriend free girl
person.
Yeah,
Chris was looking for boyfriend free girls, and the final boss is a boyfriend free girl.
And the fact that she has very sapphic, lesbianic, like to the point of apparently, I don't know, this isn't confirmed, but she sexually exploited the one girl interested in Christine, and apparently she had sex with another girl against her will. This is what's being alleged, that she basically sexually assaulted a girl in college. I don't know if that's true or not. Again, just for legal purposes, Isabel want to be like with Chris, but she's just an extremely edgy Blue Spike. Yeah, I think like Blue Spike but anyway, so let's before we move let's get into your thread, Saturnalia, just to totally, now that we're mind fucking people.
And also try to speak louder than usual, just because I'm trying to make sure everybody's level.
Because it's a little echoey in here, but yeah. Yeah, shoot away, man. What do you want to ask?
So the premise of your thread is that, and like we were saying before we went live, I was reading the Warhol Chris Chan book, which is right here. I wanted to get Dan Leshub on, but he doesn't want to do any. And if he turned down interviews with bigger platforms, then of course, but he talks a little bit about the sort of within the work of contemporary art, certain artists that will go down certain occultic routes. And if we were going to consider CWC an outsider artist, for instance, there's this one part about Magichan, which you cover in your thread. He says, and I quote, the Sonichu series is extremely difficult to follow with the convoluted timeline and many retcons, retroactive continuity changes made whenever Chris felt the need to alter the past to address the whims of the present. The quickie contains addressing most, if not all, of the versions of the pages, blah, blah, blah. So then he talks about Stephanie Wilma Tobias, whose site contains the commentary of the original anonymous Sonichu annotator, as well as her, starting with Sonichu issue 4. Then it says, Gibby says, so the YouTuber Gibby, the Christorian, both because of the retcons that happened to the actual comics themselves, and because so much of what is told via Chris's YouTube account and multiple Twitter accounts. Also, Sonichu itself prevents a similar challenge even in terms of the actual narration. So then it goes on to explain how a lot of similar tropes in works of fiction, such as Yu-Gi-Oh!, My Little Pony, then Chris is then taken on by the visage of Magichan. So what we have here is we have in the
a mindset that is really astonishingly similar to magical thought for a long time, a lot longer than people think. A lot of people sort of try to blame the idea guys circa 2017, 2018 on basically convincing him that the world of fiction impinges on his own. But you go back, and I found a phone call between Chris and Alec Benson Leary in 2010, which seems to apply that as early as that, he was completely of the opinion that his fictional characters were literally real, and that the fictional characters in this fictional world that he has created, has some sort of real resonance that directly affects his real life. And it seems almost inexplicable that he could have been reading, any sort of book. I don't think Christian really reads books except for the last one that he purchased about disability, which is alarming that he chose that moment to get into real books. But it seems like he must have arrived at these conclusions like organically, that there's some sort of like ambient aspect to mental illness, or some sort of ambient aspect to his life experiences that align astonishingly well with the, literally ancient beliefs that have been held since, prehistory, Neolithic magical beliefs.
And how does Magichan, someone was asking, how does Magichan fit in? Is Magichan like the emissary for Chris in the dimensional merge? I know it's like...
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
So basically, Chris, I don't know. I was under the impression it was called Magi-chan, which made it a little bit more interesting.
Yeah, Magi-chan. Yeah.
But I don't know how Chris pronounces it. It could be Magi-chan.
Magi-chan also looks to me like the character Knights in the Dreams. So if you guys are familiar with that Sega Saturn video game, Knights is also purple, and Knights also wears this vest-like thing over here. So I'll show you an image of Knights.
Knights is like a jester, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly. And Jester is also and Jester is also a symbol of Hermes. It's also a symbol of Mercury.
Surely yes, that's so, like the Jester has always been closely linked to magical practice archetypally. Especially to this day. I mean, you have people these days, obsessed with like, DMT entities and stuff that always sort of mysteriously seem to take the form of jesters. And you have, this sort of aspect of the carnivalesque, this, historically speaking, the carnival is always a place of reversals and sort of occult mystery, right?
It's also a place of suspension in terms of
it's a liminal space where anything can happen.
But even like, I think the sort of Leshbaum talks about when comparing, for example, Christian and Andy Warhol, through the work of art, there's this sort of a sense of fabulation, but also a sense of this sort of postmodern collapse of identity, in the sense that there is, to quote, but due to technology and the replication technology, so now we're talking about, this is, of course, like Walter Benjamin's The Loss of the Aura through the reproduction of art. Anyone could be Andy Warhol. And the fact that various people did claim to be him and be usually, but has no problem with this. Sometimes he playfully, so Andy Warhol, spun his involvement in factory production so far less than it really was. Quote, "It's not really me that's doing it, it's the people we have." One person who announced, "I am Andy Warhol," was Julia Warhola. And it was well known how Warhol used his mother's calligraphy in his 50s artwork, and even had her sign his own name various times. And I think even the rad femme that, what did she do? Shoot Andy Warhol? I think she, when was like obsessed, had this mania, which is kind of funny how a radical feminist ended up shooting Andy Warhol. But I think like when it comes to the reproduction of identity, I think that Christine Chan is the metaphor for a sort of weird, like, egregoric energy that the internet has produced, where now we can look at Christine, we can look at the world of CWC, and we can experience what this person has experienced, and we can actually guide this, I would say, hyper object as a human being into various positions. So we were talking about Magichan.
And we also have, by the way, a situation where we had Andy, we had Andy Warhol, and now we have Andy Worski. What does that tell you?
Oh, is Andy Worski involved in this?
No, but just the general milieu of having people who get their fame from all of these prying internet eyes, all these voyeurs.
I get what you mean. Yeah, that's yeah.
It's something that primes the pump of a lot of this magical energy that I think we're currently seeing unveiled in various ways. Like before, I was comparing that picture of Kamala Harris to the Yu-Gi-Oh card, the Pot of Greed. So I think if we look for it, we'll find it.
But even like the amount to which Christine like utilized like very primitive forms of technology on the internet to like spread the message, like just like scanning the documents to get the text that, and of course like the narration to the comics would never make sense, just using like the really shitty PS2 camera to do like the captain's logs, to like do like these different things that are just, it almost astonishes me how like the veracity by which Christine has adopted just like creating one's life as a work of art. Like it's really I'm only saying Christine because of OPSEC, but that's, you know, I don't even know what to say. I'm stunned. But well, Turkey Tom, what do you think of these developments? This is God.
Okay. Quick about Turkey Tom. Turkey Tom right now is trying to do several things at once, but he is here and he's he's going to be with us in a bit. So I wanted to go back to your thread, Saturnalia, and talk about exactly like this cartoonish Igor, all these various things that we've absorbed back in from watching Sonic the Hedgehog, Pokemon. I don't think it's a coincidence that two of the most, I don't know if autistic is the right word here, but two of the most like brightly colored entities for people to watch, Sonic and Pokemon, were combined into this one thing that held so much energy. I mean, do you agree?
No, I think that makes a lot of sense. Gio, a moment ago you said Christian was employing these primitive methods to distribute their consciousness. I would kind of disagree. I think that the methods that Christina's used are surprisingly and perhaps even shockingly advanced. Or at least forward thinking, right? I mean, if you really think about it, they were one of the first people to publish video game playthroughs on YouTube, right? Which has since become, I'm sure like a multi-100 million industry.
Yeah,
right?
Let's Players. Yeah.
And they were doing that as early as 2004. And I mean, like so much of what Christina's done seems to have like an intuitive understanding of like future media, or like I don't know how to really describe it, like vlogging as well, right?
Yeah
And so I think that there's some sort of like strange resonance between this intuitive understanding of what draws people's eyes in. Like Christian did not become like this globe spanning internet phenomenon by accident, right? So I think that there has to be some sort of connection between so many eyes on them, so much emotional investment, so much mental investment, so much everything like this. And I mean magical thought, like what is magic but the application of will to create changes in the world? And when you have a lot of people's eyes on you, that's harvesting will, no problem, right? And Christian has seemed to prefigure like real changes in the media and internet landscape, where they are like the first native. If that makes sense.
And then
imagine this image, by the way. Imagine this image with Chris Chan holding the Sonichu medallion. Like
I'm sure someone has made that edit before. No, but that's a great point. But yeah, I think what I meant by primitive, I mean like just the technology available at the time. But you are right. Like there is like a level of like crazy sophistication that has went on but like by total accident, the first like IRL streaming, you could say, even the first like request based vlogging, the first people to do things like what would be another instance? Even just like webcomics, like really when you think about it.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. I was gonna say webcomics and like involvement with like crowdfunding or like because Christian was doing crowdfunding stuff way before Patreon, right? Just like getting trolls to like send them money.
Yeah.
Right? So
yeah. And selling merchandise based off of a webcomic. I think that pretty much was the first instance. I can't even think. I maybe like Lev, you interviewed them, the guys that did Sign and Happiness, but like that's apparently the one guy never mind Twitter. But no, that's like the first to actually sell like comic based merchandise, which
on
I think
eBay, like really crazily.
On eBay, like that even like could have got like just doing things like cannibalizing amiibos to create characters to sell like that, like there like even when what was the saga where someone convinced who's the head of Sony that like they wanted to create they wanted to like create a Sonichu game. And then like
I thought that was when Mr. Miyamoto came over and was stuck in the rain and snow for 2 days and 2 nights. And
What a disgraceful host Chris Chan was, not letting Miyamoto in.
Oh God.
Like Photoshop pictures of him like frowning in like a forest.
I mean, there is a tendency now, I think, at least inside of me, to imagine what it would have been like if, like now we have people like Mr. Beast, people who would just pay outrageous, like stupid money for people to do ridiculous things. What if it was the case that...
it was Nintendo, I'm sorry, it was Nintendo.
Yeah, that we could have gotten Miyamoto, or like representatives of Nintendo to come down to Chris Chan's house, for people to fund it, just because of how... strange it would be and interesting it would be and kind of a breath of fresh air it would be that you would be able to actually bring people of such a high stature to somebody who, would have never dreamed in their entire life they would be in that position.
I think there were certain game devs that worked for Nintendo that like made allusions or references to Christine. So
well, the Sonic Boom TV series has 2 references to Chris Chan in it, like for real. God. Yeah, no, there's one where they do like a parody of Stephen King's Misery, where there's like this insane Chris Chan figure who kidnaps Sonic the Hedgehog and is like, I don't know, probably not going to break his ankles. I didn't watch the full episode.
Yeah, there is it's an anteater character here. Let me post an image of the guy.
But there's another relevant quote from Lesh Bob. This is on page 282. Don't sit so close to the television or you'll ruin your vision. Unlike Warhol, who parsed and spliced together various aspects of different rising media in comparatively elegant fashion, Chris Chan is too enveloped in media webs to organize or rearrange the various strands. Rather, he clings to them in order to feel comfortable within the declining America, with a languishing personal life, a thwarted love life, the love quest, and a non-existent professional life. Chris Chan looks to media to provide a point and purpose to existence. So crushed and meager is the human spirit, so alienated in its form from natural motivations, that when something is shiny and new, a new video game, a new cartoon, a new toy, it's announced or discussed within the influential areas of cool electronic media. This is experienced as nothing less than evidence of life being worth living. So I think that, to me, and this is what we were talking about last stream, that CWC is indicative of the modern condition. I remember my now deleted tweet because I said he, and I don't want the Twitter Jannies after me. Someone said, imagine the future as... When you imagine the future, imagine Christine Weston Chandler forever. But when you think about it, the perfect creation of our world, whether it's mass consumerism, life through the avenues of neatdom, experiencing all of life through your through your basement, through your room. Let's see, even right up until now, I hate to say it, but why do you think that a lot of these sort of incestuous fantasies are getting more attention in the media? Because there's something there, along with mass infantilization, there is this tendency to pull towards like the cosmic longhouse mother that Christine is like literally enveloped in. So it's really weird how, in a lot of ways, as stupid and ridiculous as it is, the words coming out of my mouth, Christine Weston Chandler is indicative of the modern condition proper, like no other human being on the face of this earth, in my opinion. And I know that's a really crazy and wild claim, but it is what it is.
No, but I think that's completely true. I think that Christian is like a distilled avatar of everything, of the internet from 1997 to 2021.
By the way, look at this comment. ACGTG says, no offense, but the stream comes off as a bunch of theory cells' first exposure to Chris in 2021. LOL.
I have followed Christian for over a decade.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I knew about Chris dating back. Christine dating. I mean, we are theory cells. Come on, that is at least a half accurate comment. But I think that there, if you want a real theory cell approach, like I say, go and buy Dan Leschbaum's book, Warhol Chris Chan. It's, to me, one of the best examinations of an internet-based personality and a lot of like art theory and literary theory, ranging from Althusser to obviously to our critics like Robert Hughes to even like, you know, Derrida. And there's a little bit about, you know, Foucault and Derrida in terms of like panopticism. Because like when you think about it, Christine really is like the living panopticon. Like from the time this person, if you want to factor in like the Sonic competition, from the time this person was born, Christine was marked to be this total like blown apart entity where there's lines of fiction and theory and you can't tell what's real and what's not. Like even just the reporting and the chanology around it is built upon narratives and people trying to control it and people having different interpretations on what is true and what is false. And even Christine themselves, you know, being an unreliable narrator, to say the least, of this person's own life. I mean, it's fascinating. I mean, I know it sounds like so ridiculous and stupid to even talk about it in these terms, but oh my God. Based Ralph Emil taking Aydin down. Apparently Ethan Ralph is going, I don't know. I don't know. Even like the fact that Ethan Ralph was the one to film Christine getting arrested. It's like, to me, like that's even more of the fabulation. You know what I mean? Like that's, oh my God.
By the way, shout out to Aydin in the chat.
Yeah. Thank you, Aydin. Yeah. So in other words, yes, I mean, we are theory cells. We do. I mean, come on. I mean, I didn't just buy these books behind me for a reason. Well, I mean, I don't know. But yeah, Saturnalia, please. I'm hogging. I'm going off right now. I'm sorry.
No, you're going off quite nicely. Where are we going now? What do you want to
well, what do you think of like the media environment around Christine? Like, do you think like
the new one with Christian ending up on Tucker Carlson and ending up on front page of a Bulgarian newspaper? I think it's insane.
It's not going to be. It's not going to be enough though. It has to. People. Okay, I'm not going to be satisfied until I get Carl Tuckerson talking about the chaotic combo. I want to hear
New York Times op-ed.
Yes, I want to hear one of these talking heads saying the words chaotic combo and saying the words, what's her name? Hold on. How dare I forget that very important name? The teacher who destroyed his board. Hold on. What is wrong with me?
Not
Mary Lee Walsh. Mary Lee
Walsh, yes.
Yes.
She was the dean of Piedmont, Virginia Tech, or whatever it was called.
Yes.
You know? She's also an evil succubus.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. It's just funny imagining someone coming in from Encyclopedia Dramatica background, CWC knowledge, to tune into the stream and hear stuff about Warhol and consumerism. Yeah, I mean, it is. I think it's fascinating because Christine like comes from a long lineage of the outsider artist, and even like the difference between like what a lol cow is and a horror cow. It's like, do you think if like Henry Darger came back to life today, would Henry Darger be CWC? Maybe not. I mean,
I think Henry Darger was so private. I don't think he would post about himself online. But if he did, it would be something similar. Yeah.
They even have a lot of the similar like confusions about sexuality. Like there are people that speculated that when Henry Darger would like draw women with like girls with penises is because he genuinely did not know that he was this like very lonely autistic man raised by the church, so he didn't know about female anatomy. But whereas Christine, there is sort of like this lurid, very public, very grotesque form of sexual expression that in a lot of ways, like everything else, has been sort of aided by the trolls. Like, I mean, we all know the video, right? Julie.
Well,
Like,
well, aided by the trolls, but also aided by mass media. Everything that Chris Chan said in the past was all Family Guy references and Sailor Moon, My Little Pony. You remember he had that poster fail with Sailor Moon and Chibi Moon there, and he wanted to show that poster off to prove his manhood, as well as Optimus Prime on the side. But it's like, I don't know, to me, that's like something that, again, like a 10-year-old boy would do. It would not be something...
It's like sympathetic magic. It's like, if I show the... Well, what poster was it, Lev? The song?
It was the Sailor Moon poster of Fail, as it was called on Encyclopedia Dramatica.
Because a troll, like, wanted him to admit that he was, you know, a damn dirty homo. So it's like that it's like I'm giving a wink to my own masculinity. I mean, that's another aspect of sort of Christine Chan's like relation to sexuality proper. Like the fact that Christine has managed to like maintain this like extreme hatred of masculinity, but at the same time, this very like creepy and pervish outlet towards women. Like it's very, very funny. I think that's why you have a lot of activists of particular type that are trying desperately to control the narrative around like the pronouns and all of that, because in order to admit that this person is very there's a lot of problematic strains there. I mean, the fact that Tucker Carlson covered it, that was like, to them, that's like, you know, like that's total, like that's Armageddon, because now boomers are going because then right-wing types like me are, no, I'm kidding. Maybe, unless, but then you'll have like boomers, like they'll ask their kids, who's this Christine Chan? What? Like that's like terrible. I mean, literally their first exposure to...
This is a psychic attack on the boomers. It's wildly irresponsible.
It's an info hazard. That's what it is.
Showing the Necronomicon on like the Sunday news. It's like...
But in a way, it's a larger...
Terrible. It's a total info hazard.
It's a larger version of what was going on in the Chris Chan's home, where we had people who were from the 1950s generation. If we're talking about his mom Snorlax, if we're talking about his dad, the internet lumberjack, we have these caricatures that were made of these people that have zero to do with the internet. Same thing with Mary Lee Walsh. And I think that's why people are also interested in it and find it funny, because a lot of these people, they did not grow up with the internet culture. They are from a generation that doesn't really exist anymore, with values that have gone away. And the fact that we're combining them together with like these hedgehogs and Pokemon and all that, it's like the ultimate contrast. It's kind of like what happened at the Eclipse part of Berserk, if you remember, Gio, where what's her name? The female demon. The female demon of the godhead. What's her name?
I forget her name. I know what she looks
like.
She looks like Mary Lee Walsh.
Slan, yeah. She looks like Mary. Yeah, she does. Oh my god.
But the point that I'm getting to here is that with Slan, she was talking about how the most sexually exciting thing for her was the contrast between what was going on. Sorry, spoilers, everybody. Who how could you?
It's
not
only been out
read
since the 1980s, but it's all
exactly. But the contrast between what was happening to Casca, what was being done to her, and the love that Guts felt towards her and the sadness.
Yeah, Casca is the feminine in the positive sort of archetypal configuration. Casca is the maiden, the sort of the object of Guts' desire, whereas this like lesser demonic influence is like the shadow feminine. It's like, you know.
Sure. But specifically the contrast here, from what I understand, is that on one hand, Griffiths is supposed to be Guts's best friend, yet he's doing this betrayal, and Guts cares about Casca, and Casca is being all kinds of things are being done with her at that point. So that is the kind of contrast where we have such a friction going on. In a way, you could say that there is tremendous pleasure for those God-hand creatures when there is the most friction. And I'd say the same thing applies with Christian, where you have this very traditionally raised and, kind of like semi-rural suburban Virginia with parents that grew up in 1950s America being introduced to all of these internet things. That is the great contrast, and I think that is one of the reasons why Christian is very powerful, just like the idea of Christian is very powerful.
I thought that Tucker, like when I first saw it on Twitter, I saw a screen cap. I thought someone edited that to be like Tucker Carlson covers CWC. But I didn't know it was real till I saw it. And so this one comment, and the reason I'm picking on Act G in the chat is because I think I appreciate Act G's criticism. I think that these are good so Act G says we live in such a diversely oppressive world to the point where we can't blame any single source for quote unquote twisting CWC psyche. Same with pointing to any specific cultic influence. I think it's true. I think that you really can't just say, okay, what was it? Was it Clyde Cash? Was it Blue Spike? Was it Jackie? Was it Ivy? You know what I mean? Like this is. You can start to see, if you watch the Geno Samuel documentary, you can sort of start to see the psyche of Christine like slowly be broken apart through time and attrition, and just like the different like juxtapositions of like holding different beliefs about things to someone who has like autism like that is, I don't know. I just, a part of me wishes that Bob and Barb like just never let them on the internet, in my opinion. I think like as much as we have found enjoyment and pleasure about it over the years, or this perverse. Yeah, go ahead, sir.
No. Sorry, I disconnected for a second.
Well, I have a question for Saturnalia.
That's what happened. No, you keep going.
No, I think like in some ways it could have entirely been prevented, but in other ways I think it was inevitable. I think the internet would have produced something like Christine Weston Chandler eventually. I think that like the fact that like these little people in Ruckersville, Virginia with very little lives, they spawned this giant tulpa. Like there's, I don't know, I remember this one comment in the Geno Samuel video saying that the vast majority of autistic people that have like this like little crappy, poorly drawn artwork, they're like shoved in a drawer and they're just like, forgotten about. Right. But the fact that there was something that compelled CWC to put this on the internet, the fact that they were discovered by like at the time, Encyclopedia Dramatica was like just as like maybe not influential, but it was just as powerful as like 4chan at one point. I mean, that it's just the lore, like the winning, like even winning the Sonic contest, like I remember what was the Parappa the Rapper thing with
somebody else won the Parappa the Rapper.
Yeah, the Stackhouse. But even before that, there was another thing. Jason Kendrick Howell, I'll break you dead. Like that. I remember that was like,
But again, when we're talking about Christian, I just want everybody to imagine if this was a 7-year-old or a 5-year-old or like even a 10-year-old doing this, would we hold them to the same firing line as we do Christian?
Well, no, I don't think we would, but I kind of have some thoughts about this as well, right? Like everyone kind of like there's an assumption with Christian that they're operating from a place of like literally being like low IQ or like mentally disabled. I don't think that's true. Like there's a surprising eloquence to some of the things that Christian writes and says. Like his vocabulary, you go through his vocabulary, it's not that bad. Like he knows big words, and I think that maybe a lot of this comes from Bob. Like in the early days of Christian, it always struck me that when he talks and when he writes, he talks like an old man.
Yeah.
Like he has like very like I don't know. He sounds like someone from like the 1950s or something, which is when
See,
Bob would have
there we
been.
go. That's why I was saying it's the combination of those two factors.
Do you think that someone said, I remember on Twitter, someone said that basically it was over when Bob died. Do you think that that's when it really spun off the rails, or?
Yes.
Yeah, like that's not even controversial. That's the truth.
Yeah.
Like that's
By the way, somebody earlier on wrote that this is the Chris Chan flag. It was a cat. A cat wrote that, and I just want to say yes. This is the pattern. I didn't even know that before, but
yeah, that is. What nation is that, Lev?
North Korea.
Oh my god! Oh no!
Yeah, so imagine if Chris Chan were to have their own CWCville in North Korea. I mean, that's why I was saying earlier that we should make a deal with the Chinese government to give Chris Chan one of their little villages for Chris Chan to run as their own CWCville.
The fake villages they have.
Yes,
in,
exactly. Yeah, so they would teach the kids there. They would teach the kids there all the Sonnet Shulor, all the chaotic combo, all the characters there, and they would teach them to hate. They have like 2 minutes of hate from 1984, but they would have that for Clyde Cash, for for the jerk ops. All those people. They're gonna have their rallies of the young people denouncing them.
Someone said the Tom Girl saga seems to be when Chris's sanity really starts to dwindle. That was after they went offline for a few months and was apparently not influenced by the trolls. I think there is a lot of crazy when it comes to the sexuality of CWC. There's a lot of different, like, I mean, the obvious being the Oedipal ship, but like I think even before that there was even indications of that. Like there was that video I keep pointing to. It was called "You're So Pretty." You always look pretty. That was the video. I think like the fact that Barb was probably when Bob died, Barb was the only influence on Chris's life that brought any sense of stability, which is kind of shocking, because Barb, as we know, was incredibly, even before she had supposedly dementia, was incredibly unstable. The hoarding, the sort of like crazy, like enabling, the different. It's like I remember the house tour, like that just. You watch Hoarding Buried Alive and it wouldn't even be that bad. It was just like the fact that like Christine's like relationship to material accumulation, that's another aspect to it. Like the fact that the whole, like all the walls are covered with crap, right? Like there's in a sense like the psyche of Chris Chan, like, like Leshbaum is saying, was informed by all of these different media that Christine literally adorned themselves with as a temple, even
including how Chris's father spoke back in the day, like you guys said. But it's interesting though that there was a comment earlier on about how Bob was the anchor, and it's funny that Bob was both the anchor at the same time he was the lumberjack. He was the person who wanted to cut off the internet. So that Chris can fly away and not be dominated by a lot of these thought forms. But at the same time, he also did not want people to pry into their lives. It is, like we talked about last time, his concern was not so much about his son. Now that I'm actually going to correct what I said just a second ago, because now that I think about it, Bob's concern was not so much, I mean, maybe it partly was, but it wasn't fully the welfare of his son at that point. It was so that the government does not find out about their hoarding.
Yeah. Well, Aydin said that Chris said that they're fine being called Chris Chan. Yeah, I think I'm just going to say Chris Chan and they, them. I mean, just because of the J's. But no, but let's, so Saturnalia, what do you think of like the sort of the temple idea? And also, is Turkey Tom back, Lev?
He should be coming back soon. Right now, he's in the middle of an emergency drive, but he's gonna be back. And real quick, I just wanted to shout out Nick Larson for the $9.99 super chat. Just want to say thank you for the content over the years. Me and my wife are expecting our first child, and I'm entering the RCIA process this fall. Gio, you're the man. You've helped me a lot.
Wow.
Check that out.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you. And hopefully we have more things to come, bigger things to come.
Because one of my first
one of the first streams I was ever on. I think Saturnalia was also on. That was, well, God, what were we talking about? I forget. Sorry, Lev, I interrupted you, but that was.
I just want to say that it's the rite of Christian initiation of adults. It's for men and women who want to journey deeper into the Catholic faith.
Oh, yes, of course. Very lovely.
So there we go.
I wish, God bless you and your family, your future child. Hopefully everything works out with the church.
And also keep sending us more super chats. This is how we grow. We really appreciate it, as well as patreon.com/breaktherules. Become a patron today. But anyway, people are asking about Isabella Loretta Janke, or Janke, or however it is that you would say it here. So she is a student. She's 20 years old. She's a student at Texas Tech University. And from what I understand, it's not just her, but there are other people within her little circle that have been doing these unspeakable things.
Hey, Lev, before that, I wonder if Aydin is free. Do you want to invite Aydin? Or?
Sure. I mean, I don't know what where Aydin is right now,
right.
But let me see. So when it comes to Saturnalia, I want to get your temple information as well, but also I promised that I would say who exactly this person reminds me of, this janky person. So one would be this girlfriend who went to prison for convincing her boyfriend, well, now ex-boyfriend, to do himself in. And I don't know if you guys
seen that.
Is that the one where the boyfriend like carved like with a cigarette like a pentagram on her parents' chest? Is that the one?
I'm not sure. Her name is Michelle Carter. She was.
I know he committed suicide in a car as she was like telling him to, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And so it's very interesting that both of them are not, scary looking. Like they're not the ugliest picture in the world. Well, hold on, I'm loading it up right now.
Loretta,
looks very normal. She looks very.
Yeah,
but I see girls like that at college all the time.
Oh yeah, but this janky girl, she looks fucking terrifying though. Like that,
terrifying, but not. Okay, look, she looks terrifying, but it's not the same thing as, let's say, somebody with a fucked up face. You know what I mean? Like
from far away, she would look completely.
Oh yeah, normal. She'd look like a pumpkin spice latte girl. She probably has a pair of Uggs. Oh, that's a millennial thing. What am I fucking talking about? That's not a Zoomer. Are Uggs like still the Zoomer? Do Zoomers wear Uggs? Zoomer white women?
I don't really see them around.
Yeah,
maybe.
I know.
Yeah, that's the.
But she does look. She looks like the classic like upper middle class white girl. That maybe like. But then when you look in like closer, I mean, oh my God, those eyes.
Black eyes, like a doll's eyes.
Yeah, exactly. Like just like. Even like the name Isabella, like which means is beautiful in Spanish. Like I truly think though, I think that janky is a product of the sort of upper middle class detachment of like, especially young women. There's a sort of product of decadence there. There's sort of like, I know it's a classic story dating back to like fucking, American Beauty, like in media. It's sort of like the sort of like the suburban bourgeois complacency hiding this like heart of darkness within it. I think the fact can you really like have like just looking at the background of her father, like being a Navy SEAL sniper and like having contracts with the government and like closing out a $27 million deal for a private defense firm. Like it's just, I don't think you could really have a normal life in those circumstances. It seems, I mean, people speculate the DDoS attacks are probably from him. Like, who knows, right? I mean, these glowies have endless resources, obviously. So,
but it's funny. People are making comparisons to, like a Black Ops. But for what? What would be the government's end goal?
The glowies are trying to control CWC. I don't know.
No, I like that tweet that I believe was done by Xi Jinping, where he talked about how Obama wanted to paint Sonic's arms blue in order to hasten the dimensional merge.
I was during the Obama years. I think someone said that Bob was the protector of the dimensional merge, and when Bob died, the dimensional merge was on. That was it. So is that actually Angie Speaks in the chat? That'd be amazing. I want to.
Yes.
We had her once on. I feel bad because the one time we did have Angie Speaks on, it wasn't that great because of other people that were on. But I would love to have Angie Speaks again. Yeah, she looks vaguely like Meg from Family Guy. I think like she's very interesting how she fits this role of a temptress. I don't know. It's very. There's just something about like, I mean, yeah, it's not like materially true that the glowies want to influence the biggest egregore in the internet, but I think like even though something's not materially
true,
yeah, it's spiritually true, exactly. Yeah. Oh my god.
Although,
by the way,
I do have sort of a theory about that.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Take a long time.
Oh wait, and
okay,
here's
this will take a long time.
Please go.
Wait,
yes.
Before you go on, I just want to say that this is Michelle Carter on the right, and this is Bella on the left.
I went to school with a girl that looks like her. That's scary, actually. She became a sex therapist, actually, if I recall. This girl I went to school with that looks like her. But no, I mean, even that photo. But when you look at the photo with the acne, that's like that mugshot, like. Oh my god! Like,
it's not just acne; it's acne acres. If anybody watches Tiny Toons back in the day, that's another show, by the way. Hyper brightly colored rabbits, like Buster Bunny, Babs Bunny. I'm surprised he didn't do anything with Tiny Toon Adventures. But anyway,
there are some gaps in Chris Chan's development. Like I think, like I said this before, the fact that CWC never became like a new atheist when it was very popular. Like I think that so Saturnalia has to go for just a rain check, and then he'll come back as a longer point. But I think like the fact that Christine was able to absorb media to such a degree in terms of the personality, like, and we've all been there, right? Like we see like a favorite film, like I mean, God forbid, everyone on Twitter wants to be like Drive or like Travis Bickle or like Patrick Bateman, but like I think like the fact that they're like the dimensional merge is significant in that respect, because now we have someone whose psyche there's a doubling going on between the real and between what is fictional. There really is sort of like a schizoaffective narrative there that, I mean, for example, I'll give you this one quip from the Surrealist. There was this one account when Andre Breton, who was the famous Surrealist poet, Andre Breton was I think he worked in a medical office during the First World War. And he talked about how this one soldier who was injured said that every soldier is just an actor and that they have makeup for like bullet holes. And that actually at nighttime, they take cadavers from the hospital and they put them on the field. And that really it was just an elaborate play. So Andre Breton took that and said that surrealism was about the sort of automatic ideation of content that comes from the unconscious mind, that it's a juxtaposition of this layer of fiction atop reality. And so to me, I think Christine is like the best example of how you take a normal schizoaffective person's ability to graft the fictional onto the real. Now imagine that blown through the lacuna of the internet and the vast sea of these people, these trolls. I mean, even up until recently, this Adam Sockness, what's the guy's name? Jacob Sockness?
Sockness.
Yeah, like that, like the fact that like this person could control Chris's finances and like just be this like predatory figure. Like it,
no good.
It's just imagine like this normal sort of like surrealist juxtaposition of the fictional and the real. Is my fucking cat back? Oh, sorry, I didn't even realize my cat was in my room. Oh my god.
Wait, where? Oh, that's adorable. By the way, we got Aydin. Yeah. We got Aydin Paladin in the house, and let me see that cat as well. Let me show me that pussy.
Oh my god. No, I'll get
right now, man.
Oh god. I'll get Benito, but you had a longer point, Saturnalia, and thank you for joining Aydin at last moment's notice.
I just hopped in the chat. I've been sitting around reading this shit literally every day for the last week.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, I mean, since the arrest and before that, it was just like, I feel like my whole life's been tilted. So
yeah.
I don't know if anyone else feels that way. I was having a conversation with a friend of mine. I was like, do you feel like something is like wrong with the universe because of this Christian shit? I don't know if you guys agree with that.
Oh, very much so. It seems like something
it feels seriously disturbed, you know. At least I don't like it. But this Isabella Janke, however the fuck you pronounce her name, I don't know why people were protecting her. I do know, and I have ideas, but I probably won't say them. However,
it's the tits, right? It's the tits.
That's part of it. I mean,
no, it's the racism and the stuff like that.
No, but with the things. Okay, so. Here's what I don't get. With the things that she was alleged to have done with the animals, and as somebody who has a cat myself, who I love dearly, just that already puts you into the category of something lower. Again, allegedly, like if that was done, it would put you into the category lower than dirt, in my opinion, as far as what level of humanity you are in, and as far as people, let's say, who are more trad or whatever, who are into a lot of these, let's say, various things in today's culture. One thing, though, that I think is very important to note is that I think that a lot of people within internet culture love cats. They love animals. I think they see something very important within animals, something that humans are lacking a lot of times. And there's a naturalness about animals, and just this love that animals are able to exude, especially like when it's a pet of yours, without any trickery in place, just like a purity of it. And the fact that somebody would go out of their way to destroy that or to be cruel to, that kind of being, that just boggles the mind, and it's just that's all I wanted to say about that. But anyway, Aydin, go for it.
Oh, I mean, I don't know where to start. The animal stuff is obviously the thing that's pissing a lot of people off. In terms of why I think people are defending her, the obvious thing is the tits. That's, I mean, like, whatever. That's all cool. I guess you do you, man. Like, whatever. But I think the other thing is that people really, 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 really hate kiwi farms.
Oh yeah.
And I understand that. I trust me, I understand it. They don't like me, it's all good. Like I get the issue that people have, but that being said,
they're vicious against you, by the way. Holy crap. Like they're
vicious against everyone. But that's the point of the website. That's why I used to get really perturbed by it, like, 3-4 years ago. But you get used to that stuff over a period of time, and like, and I'm not saying that I'm like ever being trolled on the internet, because I truly am, but well, no, I'm not. By that I mean I'm truly not over being trolled by the internet, because I absolutely can be and am all the time. Oh, cute cat. But basically what I'm seeing from people that I know and who I generally like, like Dick Masterson, is that they're saying, well, basically, like, oh, it's just kiwi farms just coming after a girl because they just want to destroy her life. And I'm sorry, but
keep in mind, like, we may have a disagreement here, because Dick Masterson has had some kind of sus takes.
Right. Well, no, I don't think we're coming to a head. I just was speaking to Dick and Ralph on Twitter, and I don't like disagree with them. I understand where their contention comes from. Which is because
let's face it, the activists, they're using this as a way of delegitimizing. Sorry, I keep cut you off. And by the way, this is Hildy, the girl cat. So,
I love tabby cats. My cat's a tabby.
Yeah. And Saturnalia's cat. Well, that's a pretty looking. Cool. Bubbles. That's a good look. Yeah, that's a good looking kitty right there.
I think that there's basically no way that this wasn't going to be politicized in one way or the other.
Yeah.
Because everything is political nowadays, which is kind of fucked up. But in terms of kiwi farms, again, my opinion there is that they are vicious towards everyone. They're savage towards anyone. Being nice towards somebody is just not allowed. Basically, on the site, you get called a simp, you get called a bunch of slurs. That's the site culture. So, like, don't expect anything else. I don't expect anything else. I used to get really upset about it. I don't so much anymore now that they don't send shit to my house. But that was when I didn't know stuff about kiwi farms. I didn't really know anything about what it was. And it's like, rule 1, don't touch the poop. So people who were sending shit to my house were breaking all of kiwi farms' rules. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
They were all the rules that are set down in that website. So anyone who's saying that bad things are happening to this girl or Christian or to anybody, they're inherently breaking kiwi farms' rules by touching the poop, such as it is. So you can't blame the website for that. And you can't blame Null for that shit, man. You just can't. And people are blaming fucking Null for all this shit, and it's fucking retarded.
Well, Ethan
By the
Ralph
way,
seems
I think
to think that Null
I
was
think
sitting
Turkey
on
Tom
it.
is back. Tom, are you
Yeah,
back?
Tom, you back?
Yeah, I'm back. I'm sorry. I had to. I forgot I had to drive my brother to work today, and I scheduled my appearance on the show.
No problem.
accordingly, so that right
It's
as I
good.
started,
It's
I
good
was
that you
driving.
forgot. It's good that you forgot because you got to be here. So it all works out.
Exactly.
So anyway, Aydin, sorry, interrupted.
Oh, not really. Also, Tom, I literally just got done watching your video about PewDiePie, and it was great.
Oh, you're actually in here. I thought you were I thought we were watching your video or something. I was like, holy shit. I was like, oh, we're watching Aydin Paladin. Thank you. Yeah. I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah, I loved it. It was really good. But no, what was I talking about? Oh, just the like, it's really easy to scapegoat Kiwi Farms and also judge everybody on there as like a conglomerate where it's a bunch
Life
of
Ruination
individuals.
posters, yeah.
Like, are there shitty people on there? Yeah, there's shitty people on any part of the web, on any part of the internet, and that's to be expected. But Kiwi Farms has pretty, like, they will bully and dox people who engage in wienery. Like, they've done that for years. So if you start sending shit to someone's house and are bragging, or you're calling the police, and even if you're just ordering pizzas to someone's house and you're bragging about it on the farms, they'll dox you. I mean, that they are pretty self-enforcing in that way, or they'll at least mock you and until you get mocked off the fucking website. Like, is it a pro-social website? Absolutely not. It's the asshole of the internet, but so is 4chan and a bunch of other places. So, and they don't like me, and that's okay, because they don't like anybody. Again, that's the whole point of the goddamn website. But I think that the whole idea that just because this stuff was posted on Kiwi Farms delegitimizes all of it is an absurdist statement, considering the amount of evidence that's been compiled about Isabella Janke. And I will say her name because holy shit, it's totally out there at this point. Why not?
What do you think of like the general character of this girl? Because I did want to get to Saturnalia's longer point, but what do you think of like from a woman's perspective? I mean, she's got a lot of like creepy, sadistic qualities to her. I don't know what
she's a cluster B sociopath.
That's what this 4chan post said. She's a cluster B like case, and she's totally disgraced. She'll never have a job again. I mean,
I don't know about that. Her parents are glowies. So
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to use this terminology, but it's true. Her parents, all of her parents, her mother, biological mother, let's start with that, trained apparently at a same kind of a place that CIA agents trained to learn how to fly planes. She is a commercial airline pilot, as far as we know, though. But she lives in like a suite in a Manhattan apartment, which that's not cheap.
Well, I got kind of like the 9/11. No, I'm not going to mention 9/11.
No,
No.
don't say it. Don't say it. Don't say it.
Don't say it.
Her father, if I'm recalling correctly, and I could get this wrong, but excuse me, I've just read 950 pages of this shit over the last 5 days, so I could get shit fucked up. Her father, it was a Navy SEAL
A
Team
sniper.
6.
Yeah.
Who then I think did contract work or did work for the CIA and now owns its own business that is in internet security. And her stepmother is a clinical psychologist or some kind of psychiatrist. So she's involved in psychiatry. So this is okay. Are you seeing how this is how to make a fucking psychopath, how to make a sociopath in terms of background? I don't know like how far I should go into this and just, tell me to shut up at any point in time. But again, I've got a whole bunch of information in my head. It's a big confusion as to how people who have this, people dox their house. I won't say anything about it, but I saw pictures of it. It's a multi-million-dollar house. It's a mansion. The one that she lives in with her father, and her father has custody, and that's confusing. Why does her father have custody? That's a confusing thing. And then secondly, why is she going to this university? I also won't name it. It's totally out there, which is like a C to D level school in Texas. I won't say which university it is, but if your parents are like these high level people, why are you there? And my speculation is because she did fucked up shit in high school, probably.
Yeah, I think it's sort of like a lot of these lesser universities are the dumping grounds of like, before back in the day, it used to be monasteries and nunneries, but now the lesser universities are like the dumping grounds of like these fucked up rich kids. So that's
What school is it she's going to again?
Oh, this one in Texas.
Can I say it?
Yeah, I think you could say it. We said it.
Yeah, you can
Texas
say
Tech.
it. Texas Tech.
Tech.
'Cause I thought that was kind of a decent school.
It's a fine school, but if your parents like
it's no Harvard.
Her
Yale.
Ivy Leaguers.
I think her
definitely
mother
not,
went
yeah.
to Harvard. I think her biological mother went to Harvard. So I mean, like, it's
Yeah,
you're
she
talking
did,
about something like that, or published a book from Harvard or got a graduate degree, something like that.
Yeah, I
So-
think Harvard University Press, there was some kind of like publication that.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the specifics there, but you would expect a child of people who are millionaires to be going to an A-level school, typically. So to dump them at a C-level school, and again, no, not talking shit about Texas Tech. I went to C-level schools all my life, so I'm not talking shit. But when you're the child of millionaires who are mid-level government employees, that's a little weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely is. She definitely probably did some weird shit in high school. I will say it's very weird. Like as I get older, it's like I'm gonna be 19 in a week, and to like be at the same age as this girl, because like there was a time when it was always like, oh well, these fucked up people are like 3 years older than me, but now it's like, wow, I'm the same age as this bitch that's like overfeeding cats and like boiling hamsters and all this crazy shit.
That's the shit. It's absolutely fucking unbelievable. It's the shit that she's accused of. If even a fraction of it is true.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
but
that's,
even the relation to waste.
Keep some skepticism
especially.
on there. Yeah.
Yeah. Like this weird fixation with waste and expulsion, I think is like classic sign of various like sociopathic tendencies.
Yeah,
like
corporaphilias, that's pretty deranged.
The gangrenous toe. Like
Dude, I remember that post. She was like, "What's wrong with my toe? Is there something wrong with it?" And you see it, and it looks like it got like dipped in acid or some shit.
It's like take a bath. Jeez.
It was disgusting. It was like, "Is there something wrong? Should I just put my sock back on?" It's like, holy shit.
Well, it's similar,
Extremely
Turkey
fucked
Tom, to the video that you did about that claymation guy. What's his name? The
yeah.
Dolly
a lot of people
Flesh.
A lot of people have been saying I should make a video about it. Maybe I will. Once we get some more word on the allegations. I watched, like I said earlier, the video. I read the archive Kiwi thread because that shit's down right now. I will say back to the point
it is
about,
back up right now
back?
as of this fucking second, but who knows?
Oh, okay.
How
Because
long
like an
that
hour ago,
lasts.
I think I checked and it was down.
It's
sucks.
going up and down because of this, I would imagine. Yeah.
Yeah, no, well, I saw, Null was tweeting about how, like, he's like, it's very curious how the second this thread blows up and gets, like, 1,000 pages within, like, 3 days.
What
site
is
gets
Null's
shut
Twitter
down.
account? I didn't know he was on Twitter again.
It's at
it's
kiwifarms.net.
Yeah, because his personal account, which was, what
Job,
was it?
whatever.
Job 4_1 or something like that. Like, that got banned, but the official Kiwi Farms Twitter still has an...
I will say there is some truth to the idea that a decent portion of Kiwi Farms users are kind of off because whereas I feel like as I've come to realize, like, there is this archetype meme of like the Discord mod, but like as far as people who are completely invested in drama for no profit, it's like I tend to worry who these people are and what's going on in their heads. I see I see some of these Kiwi posters are a little off, but
absolutely,
the site deserves to exist. It is
yeah, if you're getting that involved in other people's shit, I mean, this one is I was involved in and read 900 pages of because...
Well, this was like a criminal, like evil person, like holy shit.
Right, and I've been vaguely following Chris for 15 years, so this is...
Yeah, you're fucking old.
Yeah, I know. I know. When you said you're 19, I'm like, oh god. I knew you were young. I didn't know that young. But Christ, dude. But so since you were a fucking child, I've been following Chris. But that's why it was of interest to me. But also, there are people on Kiwi Farms who are just as weird as the people that they are obsessed with. And in fact,
yes.
That's part of the reason why, probably.
Do you believe the allegations that Ethan Ralph comes out with against Null, that Null, like with his other site, what was it called, 9chan, like turned a blind eye to certain illegal content, we should say? Like, I mean, I don't know. It's
in old school 4chan language, you would have called it gray area.
Yeah.
Did Null do that? I have no fucking clue.
I think Ethan Ralph has this weird personal like, not to say that, I mean, I came down pretty hard on Null the last stream. But when it comes to Ethan Ralph, I mean, there's no comparison. I mean, I don't want to get into it, obviously, but I think like Ethan has this really strange vendetta just based off a joke, more or less.
And what was the drama they had? There was some drama with the Dick
something
show
about
that happened.
Null was on Dick Masterson and had this joke about it was in reference to some other thing about putting him to pasture because Ethan Ralph was getting into a lot of trouble and stuff like that. And then basically Ethan Ralph spun out of control, but then Null like retaliated by making a board or a sub board out of Ethan Ralph and like then pointing to like his relationship to his baby mama and this fucking
It's all drama. It's what happens on Kiwi Farms every day. It's drama about people's...
This is why go and follow PPP. go and watch his videos on the drama with Ethan Ralph. But I don't, you know, PPP Surfer.
I haven't heard that name in years. That and Godwinson. No, but
Yeah.
Godwinson. All those guys, like the weird thing about it is the drama is so kind of, you know, I don't want to say underground, but it's not like mainstream celebs fighting, right? It's like people that run like forums and like Twitter accounts with like less than 20,000 followers, and yet the characters and the controversies are so much more interesting than any story you'll get from Minecraft drama, which is why I stick around and loosely observe it, because I know someday I'm gonna make a video about all this shit, because it's like such a great story to have knowledge of, you know?
By the way, we have in the comments somebody named Kakero who said that he went to school with Bella in the Texas Tech. Now I don't know if this is this could be a LARP once again.
You gotta go prove it, man. Go on the and
post shoe on head.
Yes.
No, DM who's in charge of the thread? The skeleton person, spooky skeleton or something. The person who made the thread. DM them if you have shit to say.
Yeah.
I don't know what you guys have talked about yet, but have you talked about this like weird Zoomer cult with what's this other guy? Louise, something like that?
Louise is a big simp.
Well, we didn't. I don't think we got into that yet. And
I wanted to ask Saturnalia what his longer point was to give him the floor a bit.
Yes.
What were we talking about?
You really want me to go off? You really
want
me to go hard?
Yes.
Okay, so this will be like wickedly paranoid by my own standards, but
oh god.
Earlier you asked like why would glowies take an interest in Christian? Okay, like what possible background or what possible reason could there be for, you know, the American security state to take an interest in Christian? So, Gio, where did you hear about Christian? Which website?
It must have been Encyclopedia Dramatica. Must have
the same thing for me. So that's interesting. Okay, who created Encyclopedia Dramatica? That would be Girl Vinyl. Yes.
Yeah. Did he go to jail or something? Or
there was a lot of people here, but I'm going to try to. Oh, Lev, can you give me permission to type in BTR chat on Discord?
Wait, say that again?
Can you give me permission to type in BTR chat on Discord? Or how do I?
Oh, sure, absolutely.
Make him.
What is your?
So yes, there's a thread that I want. There's a thread that I want to link to from Crypto Cuttlefish. Okay.
But what is your Discord?
Crypto Cuttlefish.
Just real fast.
His account is
Saturnalia. What is your Discord name? What is your Discord name?
It says Sundown. It should.
Yes,
we just went down again. Holy shit!
Oh god,
that's what I'm saying, man. It's been up and down last 48 hours essentially.
But Crypto Cuttlefish, for those who don't know,
Crypto Cuttlefish.
Yeah, he was one of the best posters. He left like Hesperic and Minoquan 4. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Crypto Cuttlefish is the eminent conspiracy theorist of our age, in my opinion.
Before Loki Julianus, before anybody on Twitter. Yeah.
You can type now in the chat.
There
believe.
We go. Yes.
There we go.
Yes, I saw. I've sent it. So anyway, Crypto Cuttlefish says, okay, who is Girl Vinyl? Who founded Encyclopedia Dramatica? What is their job? Their job is a Department of Energy counterintelligence agent. For real. That's on their LinkedIn to this day. So what possible reason could there so there's one of two scenarios here. It's either the DOE did not properly vet them before, employing them, or that there's some sort of, deep cover thing. What like basically why would the Department of Energy, which is, an underexplored aspect of the American intelligence apparatus, want to have an in with Encyclopedia Dramatica? Well, you look into it. Encyclopedia Dramatica used to share server space with the Wikimedia Foundation, which is pretty weird, right?
Yeah.
So Encyclopedia Dramatica, like they get their start covering live journal drama, right? And where live journal drama is like a very interesting old thing. It's way before my time.
I remember some of those lol cows. Some of them were pretty fucked in the head, to tell you the truth.
Yeah. This is like the origin of lol cows and like everything. Kiwi Farms, so much of 4chan culture, all comes from this like primordial live journal drama. And where does that come from? Okay, that comes from the early days of Usenet.
Yeah.
That comes from basically people bullying each other on Usenet. And in Usenet, there's the phrase eternal September, right? Which is when a bunch of college kids come on to Usenet, and it's basically their, new friends, 4chan parlance, they're new friends, right?
Yeah.
And they screw up the discourse. And the reason that they screw up the discourse is because they're not as mean. It's because they're not as trollish.
They're not
They don't have the
40-year-old
same
shut-ins
trollish
anymore.
vibes.
Yeah.
Yes. But so who are these guys who were there before Eternal September on Usenet? Well, they're guys who were using ARPANET and stuff, right? And where are those guys physically located? They're located in California, much like the founders of Encyclopedia Dramatica. And where do they come from? Well, they're socialized in these Bay Area Synanon groups, because they're coming out of these Synanon groups that were founded in the 70s and the late 60s.
Yeah, the hippies.
Do you know what Synanon is? Yeah, so Synanon is like a weird sort of blend between, hippie sort of mystic sort of cultish vibes and like literal demonstrable ties to the MK program and to Operation Phoenix in Vietnam.
And it was around Laurel Canyon, right? That was
it was precisely around Laurel Canyon. There's deep resonance between the Encyclopedia Dramatica house and the, it feels just like weird scenes in the canyon, like Lookout Mountain.
Strange signs inside the gold mine. Yeah.
Wow. Lookout Mountain Air Force Base is literally deeply tied to Synanon. I forget exactly how, but they share membership. There's interlock here. And so what does Synanon do? Well, they developed attack therapy, right? Have you ever read about this? Synanon was started as this sort of therapy group, right? To try to cure people of drug addictions, cure people of whatever social maladies they have. And the way they figured out, well, the way they attempted to do that was this sort of cultic rite where they would do this thing called attack therapy, where it was almost like a Maoist struggle session.
Yeah,
they would get like one person to force them to confess to whatever bad actions they'd been. They'd be like, oh, I shot heroin again, man. I shouldn't have done it, man. Or like, oh, like I'm gay or something, right? I shouldn't do that. And then the other members of this group would surround them in a circle and would literally, verbally attack them, but would literally like beat them.
Yeah.
And
like
so
a gang initiation almost. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And so it's like strikingly odd to me that so much of early internet trolling history is like inseparable from the socialization into Synanon by these like freaky tech guys. There's like 0 degrees of separation between those guys and the Electronic Frontier Foundation, which just glows like the sun. Every single guy involved in the higher leadership of that.
And a lot of them went to big tech corporations as well, even Google.
Yeah, exactly. Like the entire roots of Silicon Valley are founded in like the shadow of Synanon trauma-based mind control, which is founded in the shadow of the Phoenix program and literal government-sponsored MK. Okay, so there's no like distinct path that I can find here. Like I can't go through like I'm sure I could if I was bigger brained, but there's like a definite lineage that goes straight from the MK program to Kiwi Farms, to modern day online trolling culture, in that it is the fulfillment of the ideal form of like MK attack therapy. Okay. And it's like extremely strange to me that the way like Chris Chan's whole life is this Truman Show. It's this, it's as though attack therapy were taking place organically throughout the entire world, all focused onto one person. It's like the platonic ideal of this sort of like Synanon attack therapy.
But do you think that was planned, or do you think it's just because Chris was hilarious?
No, I don't think it was planned. I think that it arose organically as a like a consequence of compartmentalized like intelligence mindset. I think that American internet culture has been irreversibly inculcated with the mindset created literally in the MK program.
But I felt like I just had a total. I feel like I need a fucking cigarette now. I don't even smoke.
Oh, don't tell me that. Now I'll smoke one. But like, I think that.
Wow, Saturnalia.
By the way, this is just like the hippies in the 60s.
This stream has delivered, in my opinion, the best info. Not to say like other people haven't done it right, but to me, this is like some weird theory fiction shit going on. I think this stream will go down in BTR history.
Well,
My God, Saturday. Oh,
yeah, that was really
I was
interesting.
thinking some big brain thoughts last night. As I was struggling to fall asleep.
Yes. And everybody subscribe. If you love this kind of content, subscribe, and keep subscribing to Break the Rules, breaktherules.tv, patreon.com/breaktherules.
Even my cat Hildy's like, Gio, it's all right. It's all right. Don't worry about it, bro.
Yeah. Well, this is kind of it reminds me of what was done with the hippies in the 60s, where we had Laurel Canyon rock stars being associated with the governmental agencies.
There was actually one woman that was like partying. She was 14 years old and she was like pass around girl with all of like the Led Zeppelin and sorry, go ahead, Saturnalia. Yeah.
Well, I was just gonna say, like I kind of literally want to write a book now that would be like weird scenes on the early internet, right? Like you could tie like the EFF with what's that guy's name, John whatever, who's like literally admitted to being a CIA agent. You can tie him directly to guys like Weave. You can tie Weave to like Girl Vinyl. You can tie Weave to Choppa. You can tie Weave to Come Town. You can tie Weave to Sam
no
High.
idea that shit with Weave. Holy fuck! All right.
You can like I'm losing my mind. Like I feel like
I know a guy who had a podcast. I'm not going to say the name that was maybe associated with Weave, but like, I don't know, like Weave is a very strange character. He's got, I think like, I tend to believe that he's a bit more authentic than other people because of just, his association with certain political movements aside. I think like Weave is a very interesting and fascinating character to me. I mean, I'll say no more if I go down this road. So,
Captain Trips is asking who got Tracy
Do you mind if I ask you a question? Sorry.
Yeah, and I just want to say real quick, what a tangled web we weave when we conspire to deceive.
Wow. So go ahead, Aydin. You wanted to ask.
Masterful.
You're kind of like bringing up how this MK Ultra kind of stuff and how that reflects sort of the Chris kind of thing. Do you think that's why someone like Isabella Janke or Janke, however it's pronounced, would have been drawn to someone like Chris?
Yeah, I mean, yes, precisely because she's descended from a background of clinical psychology, which is inseparable from MK mindset. MK mindset.
Read Thomas Saw's, by the way. Go ahead.
And she's descended from a Navy SEAL who later, more suspiciously, went on to form military contracting, right? And military contracting work is a lot more sinister to me, even than like being an active member of the American intelligence apparatus, right?
It is.
It is.
Definitely.
When you move out of this realm of like officially sanctioned behavior, you move out to be like, you have no oversight, but you retain your network. Like if you're an intelligence agent and you get fired from the CIA, no one has to know that.
Lockheed Martin.
You just tell them that you're still involved. No one knows because it's so compartmentalized. It's very similar to an occult organization like the AA. It's completely compartmentalized. You have no idea who's higher than the guy who's
or the
telling
process
you
church that was involved with the glowies. Yeah.
Wait, so it's kind of like you can live in the school library and people just think you're still a student. You just still hang out there.
You still have your ID even though it's maybe a little expired. No one can really tell.
I remember the old school, like before there was the export, there was like Godlike Productions and Above Top Secret. They would talk about how certain private military contractors were involved in, like, for example, Hurricane Katrina. They were doing shit in the streets. Like imagine an American security apparatus like doming people on the streets of New Orleans, or like the shit
off the Superdome.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like Chris Kyle. Or like even the Iraq War. I mean, the stuff that they were doing, the PMCs, the private military contractors. I mean, it makes your fucking skin crawl. The fact that these people.
You ever look into DynCorp? Everyone always focuses on DynCorp. Everyone always focuses on Blackwater for being hardcore, and they're
evil,
CIA to the nines too. But DynCorp's work in like Bosnia and stuff is like unconscionable. And that ties
they were in there with
Graham.
Like the sexual enslavement camps and everything. Like they
were literally doing like mass scale child sexual trafficking, sex slavery stuff. It's like insane.
And it came out in UN reports. In fact, there were certain fringe people that were hired by the UN to administer aid that were also involved in that type of stuff as well. And the fact that they were using the early internet. Yeah, go ahead.
But basically, to sum all this up, I think that Isabella Janke could have seen this with her background as the perfect opportunity to do like like kids first MK, right? Like this is like the equivalent of like playing with a chemistry
That's
set in
probably
the basement
true. I agree.
agree.
with
compared
that.
to like
Yeah.
like a wider scale thing, right?
Oh yeah.
Wow. Turkey Tom, what do you make
Yeah.
of all this?
I mean, I want to pretend to be as knowledgeable about, government contractors and the CIA and whatever, elite pedophile sex squads or whatever. But I will say, I mean, that sounds realistic. Like just, kind of the conclusion that she's basically using him as like a guinea pig. It definitely seemed that way with the messages and the way they were kind of treating him. Like it seemed like, oh, this is just like deranged retard on the internet who everyone already hates. What if I, play with him a little bit?
Yeah,
Much like
break
she
him.
seemed to be. Yeah, much like she seemed to be playing with animals, and it's like, the perfect crime. It's like someone everyone hates anyway. Someone who seems like they would kind of do this. Like, it was disgusting that Chris did that, but like, was it a huge surprise? Probably not, right? Probably
No.
not.
No,
There were
he's talked
signs.
about it. He's talked about it before.
Yeah,
I'm
and so
even-
like, regardless of whether or not, she pushed him to do it, should he be held culpable? Yes. But at the same time, it's like, this person's also, evil, and the fact that they're completely cognizant of what's going on, completely mentally capable, and despite that are doing all this, I think makes them worse than Chris, I would say, despite the fact that Chris is the one who did the act,
No, I agree 100% because yeah, Chris has clearly got some. Look, Chris, and this has been the thing with Chris since the very beginning, is that Chris is incredibly susceptible to suggestion. That's
Yes.
why they've been
Yeah.
able to fuck with Chris for the last 15 years, is because Chris will basically, particularly if a woman tells him to do it, Chris will do it. That has
Or even
always-
pretending to be a woman.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
what Blue Spike got him to shove his medallion up his butt because Blue Spike was a
Yeah.
12-year-old with a falsetto voice. So, that
I have something to tell you.
oh my god.
I'm actually a 13-year-old boy.
Why are you recreating it?
Yeah, that the one at the very end, and apparently it was a live stream too that never got released. But when Blue Spike was like, "How does it feel, Chris? How does it feel to destroy the thing you love?" and Chris was like, "Feels like hurt, feels like pain." Like that. When I saw that, I at the time was like,
People hated Blue Spike
Wow.
for that.
"Oh
Even,
yeah."
like
Oh,
Blue Spike
by
always
the way,
does shit.
guys, I have an update from Kakero. He was posting in the sushi bar texts from with him and Zoe. So over here, I'm gonna put this on the screen here. So I'm not too familiar with Zoe. I kept
I am.
hearing
Okay.
her name. So
So-
you can see the text over here talking about the whole hamster incident. So
Oh,
there
Zoe.
we go. That's
Oh,
this is this person then. Okay, cool. So Zoe Theory is Isabella's ex-girlfriend.
Oh my God, what are you Zoomers
Yeah, I
doing?
didn't understand that. I saw she's like extremely homophobic and yet also gay, which doesn't make sense and also makes perfect sense at the same
No,
time.
Kind of
she's
like Chris
She's not
Chan.
homophobic. She hates trans people. That's what it is.
That's different. Yeah,
Oh, I see.
she's
So
a
it's not
turf.
gay people.
She's an old school turf that is like sapphic, lesbianic. Like for example, a lot of the rad femmes back in the 80s, they embraced this form of politicized lesbian action as a way of counteracting the sort of participatory servitude of patriarchal norms. But then the translation being is that they're incredibly transphobic because they believe that they are invading the sort of embodiment of woman, which I mean, that's like, TERF 101, but like, I
Yes.
personally don't think TERF is a slur. I think that that's just like a made up, like people think TERF is like literally like synonymous with like Yahtzee, you know what I mean? So,
although it would
but-
make a great gang. They would say you came to the wrong turf. And anyway.
oh God. Oh my God.
There are also there's allegations that, and I will say these are allegations. I mean, like all of this are allegations, of course. So allegedly, Bella bullied a trans person to commit suicide, and wasn't
Yeah.
in a Title IX investigation at their own university. The Title IX investigation was about bullying.
What is Title
Other
IX?
people.
I'm not American. What is Title IX?
It's
That's
discrimination.
like the sexual
Yeah.
discrimination harassment. So basically, it's really easy to get expelled from college.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
Oh, you remember Obama set this up, and there was like a big controversy. They were saying it's like kangaroo courts or whatever.
That was after the Duke
Yeah.
lacrosse thing. Yeah.
Another message from Kakero who says, you don't understand Bella. You are prescribing meaning to a person who just wants to hurt others.
No, I think
it's- well.
She isn't a turf. She's a psychopath.
I agree.
Oh yeah.
I agree 100%. I absolutely agree. I
I
don't think
agree
it has anything to do with politics. That's the thing that everyone wants to ascribe politics to this. And I think that's
Yes.
a really
Yeah.
wrong way to handle it. This person is disturbed. Please stop ascribing politics left, right, or center, whatever. This is a disturbed
I
person.
misspoke. I agree with Saturnalia in the beginning of the stream that I think that Bella doesn't have any particularly stable worldview. I think that this person really is just a fucking insane person that
Just because they hate trans people doesn't make them, and because they've said
doesn't make them
slurs.
based e-girl red pill like your favorite poster on Twitter.
Because again,
Like,
and
no, it's
coming
not.
from somebody like me who's a Jew, I'll even say, at least Hitler loved animals,
Well, true that, I suppose.
Yeah. I think a lot of the atrocities were probably coming from Himmler, but I can't say that. I'm not going to go down that road. I'm going to shut up right now.
Yeah, starting when I'm trying to blow the
Am I
turkey
going to
up.
offend the hardcore far right on the internet? I'm going to offend the normie liberal types. I don't know.
Yeah, see, you don't even consider offending the Jew in the room here because you're so used to me.
Oh my God, Lev. Oh my God. See, even Hildy is looking at you with judgment.
Hilda's a German name. What does he mean by this?
Well, what's your other cat's name? Huh?
Benito. Benito is my boy cat. No, Hildy is my father. It's funny how cats, they gravitate. They're spiritual animals. My father always wanted to name a cat Hildy because when I was a very young kid, he used to read me the story called what's called The Littles. And the Littles were like these like these little people that lived in this like house, and Hildy was the house cat that was their friend that they used to ride as a bus. And then Hildy would protect them from these rats because the rats were like their immortal enemy, right? And so he always wanted to name a cat Hildy, but we never got the chance because the last girl cat we had was named Patches because it was a calico. But then the boy cat gravitated towards me more. So I'm like, I have to name him Benito. I just have to do it. It's a heritage thing. It's no political statement. Maybe, unless. But
speaking of the political stuff, what I found really frustrating about this whole situation with Bella, is that everyone's trying to politicize it. And like the last couple of days when I've been looking at stuff after KF went down, and when KF went down, guess what happened? Poll got flooded with threads about this bitch. Okay? So like, God. I mean, like, oh, good job, you took down KF. Now Poll's full of threads about you. Do you feel better? Do you feel like you're in charge?
What was the consensus on Paul about her? Did they think she's a based and tragedy girl, or
it was pretty mixed, and I do believe that the most people who were simping for her were literally just simps. If not her, because she's already been found out to have been posting. It's been 4chan poster, but also she got caught posting on lolcow.farms.
Oh no!
I don't know if she got caught definitively, but it seemed like pretty good.
I find it ironic that my Amy Therese woodcut ended up. Never mind. I'm not gonna.
I was reading the lolcow thread about this shit, and I saw they were talking about this like this phenotype, sort of a physiognomy for this kind of girl.
Yeah.
And they showed Jank next to the picture of the girl who stole, was it AOC or Pelosi's laptop? They look like exactly the same.
The right-wing
totally
girl
like
phenotype.
I mean, maybe
there's like this weird like pick-me culture I've noticed along.
I think what it is. We talk about this on Twitter a lot. Because what happened was there's a number of rad femmes that are in more like right-wing spaces, even though like it's kind of a crazy, because I guess the left, they don't accept them anymore. So
so they have to come over to the right. And
so then you have like, and I've befriended a few of them, and because I myself am a king of simps on Twitter, but I think the discourse is that there is like a lot of quote unquote pick me energy around like women who purposefully ape like far right politics as a way of gaining acceptance from like usually, stereotypically lonely men who are on the political right.
She's not. She's a lesbian. And a femcell lesbian.
A literal femcell energy. Yeah.
I believe she dated a male to female trans person as well. So maybe that's
what.
Yeah, that was.
Oh my God.
I think Fury is the person who was the trans person. That she did. Yeah. So I think, but maybe that's where her anger against and hatred towards trans people comes from. I don't know. But I think that part of what's so fascinating about this, there's so much of it that's fascinating and also terrifying, is that in a way she's like Shin Christian. She is the dark Christian. the dark version of him, because she's a female incel who's also only interested in women, much like Chris.
Yep.
You know, and but yet is like the dark, glowy, glow in the dark version of Chris.
She's like the inverse Jimmy Neutron. She's like Jimmy Megatron. You know? It's
The
basically
doppelganger is the
exactly.
Because she's got all the weird shit, the weird obsessions and crap that Chris has, but hers are super dark and and really disturbing.
She's like evil.
Yeah, it's evil Chris. Yeah, evil Chris.
Although I would say Chris is pretty evil on his own, but that is
Chris is evil on his own, but
her own. Sorry,
I don't give a fuck. Like also,
I don't know if Chris is knowingly evil.
No, that is
that exactly.
Yeah,
I think Isabella is just like a terrible human being that knows what they're doing and like takes.
I mean,
it,
she's an internet god. Didn't you see? She's the internet god.
Yeah, I saw that. She was like, "I'm famous now. I broke the internet."
I think I on my YouTube channel. Jenner Productions at youtube.com. I kind of did go down pretty fucking hard on Chris Chan before this Loretta Janke person.
Well, you should. Chris raped his mother.
I know. I think, and I actually did a dramatic reading of that 4chan post that was going around. That I think when you contextualize the experience of someone and here's the thing, I don't think that Barb in no way, shape, or form deserved it, but I do say that, Barb was a pretty fucking shitty parent.
Barb was a terrible parent.
Terrible.
Barb completely enabled Chris and in many ways created him.
Yes.
It created the person that Chris Chan is. Barb, just because you did it doesn't mean you deserve to be fucking raped. Holy shit.
Oh, I mean, this is exactly, by the way, I would avoid the R word just for the algorithm purposes. Who knows? I'm just being extra cautious.
I'm sorry.
No problem.
No,
but
I would also say, actually, on that note, I would say for anyone planning to talk about the subject in general on YouTube, I know that all the information is already out there, but I've had videos taken down. Like I did a video about this guy who he wrote his own Kiwi Farmers thread about himself. He wrote his own ED thread about himself. He posted his own ID online. So I talked about him in a video, and the video keeps getting taken down for harassment, despite the fact that I censored all of his private info and the fact that he posted it all online, along with himself and pictures of diapers and sexually harass people. So it's you can do a video about it all you want, but YouTube's terms of service may take it down if they believe that Chris in some way is not a public figure or Isabella is not a public figure. So I would be very wary with that, which is why I'm kind of on the fence about even talking about it, because it's who knows what could happen. Video could get taken down. I think the stream will be okay, but if someone's posting pictures of her and shit like that, definitely would not be surprised if TOS comes in with that hammer.
Yeah, just don't. I made a joke about her in my new video, and I blurred out her face for that precise reason.
Yeah, for the best. Wouldn't be surprised if that guy, what's his name, Gibby? Who's the guy Ethan Ralph's been arguing with?
Yeah, Gibby, whatever.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if his video gets taken
Wait,
down.
he's arguing with Ethan Ralph about the...
Probably.
Oh, because I'm blocked by Ethan, but maybe...
Well, I literally just spoke to Ethan right before I got on the stream, and I don't know exactly... Well, I know I do know why, and I guess I'll be honest about it here, about why I think Ethan Ralph and Dick Masterson, and particularly Dick and I used to be pretty good friends, so I don't want to talk shit about Dick, but I think the reason why they are supporting her is because they both really hate Kiwi Farms. And I understand why they hate Kiwi Farms, because it's full of gossip about them, and I understand why they hate it. But at the same time, you can be like, yeah, Kiwi Farms is a gossip forum, which it is demonstrably. Everyone knows this. And I was trying to bring up Encyclopedia Dramatica used to have this header, and I think it's been gone for years, but it used to say something to the effect of, anyone who believes things posted here is an idiot.
Yeah,
it was something to that effect. And
then 4chan adopted the Paul, these are creative works of fiction. That was...
But that's sort of the thing with Kiwi Farms, is that if you're posting, you got to have, real fucking information. You got to have screenshots. You have to have that can be proven to be not altered, because in the case of this Bella person, she tried to put out altered docs altered screenshots on Kiwi Farms. And guess what? They found her out within 12 hours, because they will find that shit out. And respect the people who do that. But the problem is that when you're dealing with a website that's a gossip website where everybody basically hates you, you can't say anything positive about anyone on Kiwi Farms. It's against the unspoken rules, right? You don't say nice things about people. So then I understand. I've also gotten mad at the internet because of Kiwi Farms, because I have a thread on there, because everybody has a thread on there when you have over a certain number of followers. It's just how it works. But at some point 3 years ago, I was real mad. It's been 3 or 4 fucking years, man. I'm not mad anymore. You got to deal with that shit. Get over it. Become
Well,
a
they
fucking
call
adult.
it Ethan Ralph calls it the Karen Farms. That's his big him and Shannon Gator. Own. Got Gator posting the Karen Farms. Tell him I'm not that Gator. Like that's...
Well, just saying, like, for people who, it's no offense to Ethan or to Dick, who I don't have any personal beef with, and who I've met both in person and hung out with. I don't have any beef with them, but I think they need to understand that, yeah, they were in KF's good graces because they were doing the same thing that KF was doing in many ways.
Yeah.
They were making fun of people, and then KF turns their gaze on them, and all of a sudden it's not cool anymore. Well, it's like, yeah, it's not going to be cool for you because it's not fun. But at some point, I think you have to accept it. That's going to happen. People are going to gossip about you. This is not gossip. I mean, some of this is gossip about this girl, obviously. Some of it's obvious gossip. But a lot of it's proof. Most of it is screenshots. I don't care so much about like the conjecture. I do find her own admissions in her own screenshots to be really fucked up and really disconcerting.
Geo Kiwi Farms thread went, maybe hopefully BTR will be big enough to have a thread. I mean, actually, God,
it's a rite
no.
of passage, my dude. It's a rite of passage. You'll get a thread eventually.
I'm pretty easy to dox, to tell you the truth. I mean, fuck. I mean, I don't know. Let it when it comes. But no, to get back on the subject matter. What was I going to ask? I think there's a lot of very strange things going on, and there's a lot of I guess a general question would be, do you think that this girl is legally liable in any way? Like, will she come? I mean, she probably won't because of her parents, but do you think that there's any sort of like legal sort of things coming her way? Apparently the trial for Chris Chan is in September. I don't know what's going to transpire. The trial, by the way, the sentencing hearing has been fucking nuts, by the way.
Saying really
famous.
By the way, no, Ricada went over this, but none of it's going to be recorded. So.
Oh no!
So reduce your hopes already because it's not part of the law within.
What I'm more curious about, even beyond like any punishment for her, is more like, can we like talk to anyone who knows her IRL and just see what she's like? Because I like went through YouTube and I like sorted by like before the last like day or whatever, just to see what I could find, like anything about her, and she didn't really have a big internet presence.
No.
Like
well, I guess that's what Kakaro is for then, because Kakaro. At least with that screenshot, again, I haven't done my internet sleuthing onto the authenticity of that particular DM that he had.
Well, I know the other person involved. The other person involved, Fury or whatever their name is, has posted on KF and has been verified, I believe.
There's this trans YouTuber who apparently interviewed somebody.
Commie Dick Girl. Oh no,
Commie Dick Girl.
No,
they were spamming videos.
They
out.
were
Holy
spamming.
Shit. Like they're like out on the town, like filming themselves, being like, Loretta Janke needs to be punished. It's like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Apparently,
where are you?
This Commie Dick Girl.
She's like filming in like an alleyway. I do think that's a little bit odd.
Yeah, but apparently the person, I don't know the pronouns, they claimed to have interviewed someone who knew Loretta Janke IRL. And but it mostly goes again over political territory about the extreme transphobia.
One of the people on KF was doing a interview with somebody on Discord, and I don't know if they got a chance to publish it yet because this was a couple days ago. I don't know if it's been published, but they were supposed to be. It wasn't Commie Dick Girl. It was someone else who had been doing some kind of interview. I don't know if that's up.
I think as Gibby promoted this Commie Dick Girl, that's probably. I wanted to read you something, Aydin, because you have been accused of being a TERF. I don't know if you're a TERF or not.
Really? Wowee.
But this is a passage. Yeah, well, I mean, that anytime you have some vague dissonant politics. Well, I know, but this is a passage from the Warhol Chris Chan book by Dan Leschbaum. Yeah. This is 346, chapter 8, Child of Warhol, or Tom Girl of Solanas. Now, Valerie Solanas was the the radical feminists that wrote the Scum Manifesto that shot Andy Warhol. Valerie Solanas in her Scum Manifesto, Society for Cutting Up Men. I didn't know it meant that. Holy
What
shit.
the fuck?
We're in a word for the Village Voice. Of course, the Village Voice. In 1968, dedicated to the avowed purpose of eliminating every single man from the face of the earth, that the whole annihilation of maleness that Chris Chan hit upon shares ideological affinity with the philosophy of Andy Warhol's greatest enemy, an enemy Warhol didn't suspect beforehand and couldn't understand very well, but an enemy nevertheless was nearly eliminated him. Chris Chan wanted to ruthlessly zap, quote, all of the jerks into another dimension and destroy the male sex. It is as if already warped cultural transmission from Warhol to Chris Chan were hijacked at the junction by Solanas, who attempts to render Chris children of Warhol Chandler into her own metaphorical offspring. Can you see the figures and all these symbolism floating in the night sky above you yet? Acting out a timeless drama in the cosmos. Warhol is a shy gay man. By the way, Warhol was base, trad, red pill. I have an essay. You can go to my WordPress in my collected writings, where Andy Warhol was a lifelong celibate gay man who took his own mother to mass almost every single day. He was a traditional Catholic, SSPX if I recall, was a gay man who feigned asexuality as a protective measure and felt so comfortable around women that he said he wanted to be a woman. He was nearly murdered by a butch lesbian feminist with paranoid schizophrenia who thought he was controlling her life. Oh my God. Like this.
Probably was.
I
don't know. Wait a minute. Where'd you get this idea that I was a fucking like...
I was reading something and they said that you were a TERF or what is your position? You're not a TERF, but like, I mean,
I'm literally a men's rights activist. I've been a speaker at men's rights activist conventions and stuff.
Yeah, but I guess that's where they get the TERF from. That's probably why they accuse you of being transphobic or whatnot. I don't know.
No, I have many friends who are trans, and well, I mean, it's probably just because people like think that whatever. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, you're some far right neo-Yahtzee. You know,
except this whole time I've been trying to like fight for trans people to be considered normal, but it's kind of hard to do it when they do weird ass fucking shit. Just saying, a little bit difficult to do it.
but I think it's pretty interesting. I stumbled upon that passage in the book because, in a weird way, I mean, as much as we talk about the sort of implications of and I want to get Saturnalia on this, the implication of sort of the incel psychology of like this extreme sort of driven by abjection, let's call it, to use a real theory cell Kristeva term, the sort of abjection from the role of normal societal partnership. We don't really talk about the reality of the femcel that much, because it's not politically correct to talk about the sort of femcel psychology. But I think like this Janke girl, it's like, Solanas like trying to murder Andy Warhol because she saw Andy as like this, art aesthetic representation of like the patriarchy. Meanwhile, like Janke is trying to spiritually murder Chris on such a deep, and legalistically.
I think she wants to just murder Chris because he's a tranny in her perspective.
Yeah, that's probably
quote unquote.
Yeah, but it's like a polar inverse of what, like Andy Warhol had some trans tendencies, but I think that it was more of the fact that he was a very sensitive, closeted gay man that had a lot of like influence from his traditional Catholicism that sort of enabled him to understand the feminine on a deeper level that was, in my opinion, more productive. I mean, I'm just saying this because I'm a huge fan of Andy Warhol as an artist myself, but I think that he gets a lot of flack in the trad circles I run in because they're like, oh, fucking Andy Warhol, modern art, like that. But anyway, Saturnalia, please go ahead. What do you think of this?
I think you're right, basically. I mean, Valerie Solanas was she the first femcel? I think yes. I haven't actually ever read the Scum Manifesto. I really should.
Yeah, I've read a bit of it. It is quite.
I've read some passages from it, which are.
Have you read Nick Sland's the Gender Acceleration Manifesto?
Yes, I have. Yeah.
Okay, because that is probably. We should
The
get Nick
modern-
Sland on. That'd be interesting.
I'd love to talk to Nick Sland.
I can't think of anyone more opposed to my worldview, but I would definitely be open to talking. Nick Sland is a very fascinating. But anyways, go ahead about. I'm distracting you. I'm very sorry.
No. I don't have anything profound to say. Gio, you've read the there was that thing on Jacobite years ago about like this like drive in transgender women to like become one with capital, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
IKEA humans.
Outmoded. Yeah.
Back in the day when I was a part of Thermidor magazine before it dissolved, we had articles by people like Doug Smythe who were writing along the sort of similar lines. I know it's kind of a cliche point in like far right circles to say that this is all a part of like Gnosticism, but I think like that essay in Jacobite in particular was quite. I think it was called IKEA Humans, if I recall. Like
it was not IKEA Humans. I remember IKEA Humans too. That one's good too, but it was not that one. It was else.
It was another one. If you go through, I remember that essay. I just forget its title. I forget who
it had
wrote...
like a black image with like white stuff on it, like white text.
Oh, that may have been by Doug.
Looks
Smythe,
like The Matrix. I forget the name.
Yeah, I remember that one. But go ahead about this essay.
But anyway, I don't have anything really profound to say about that. But I think that there's ressentiment. There's ressentiment from the this like femcel attack from this like if you think about a lesbian, right? That's like feminine, only feminine, no masculine involvement. And there's this attack at this like invader, right? Like a lot of people debate the veracity of whether or not Chris Chan is actually trans, and I think that makes sense, right? Because Chris Chan's made some statements to the effect that he wants to become trans to pick up chicks, right?
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And I think that's screwed up. I don't really have any room to talk about that.
I think on that note, I think Chris Chan, from my understanding, I think the homophobia of Chris Chan is deeper. Having known a lot of gay men myself, I think like the reason Chris Chan despises, I say despises instead of despise, because I truly think that
I think you're correct. It's concurrent.
The CWC was probably forced because of the new SJW pay piggies to like say that he apologized. They apologize.
Don't buy it whatsoever. Don't buy it whatsoever.
I think the reason is because it's not, and it's funny because I remember reading this very, very fucked up article by this this person who used to be a gay porn star that said that it's not that homosexuality culturally has been equated with like femininity or a lack of masculinity. It's more so that homosexuality is a form of ultra masculinity. I think that's why Chris Chan always like hated the damn dirty homos, because Chris Chan perceived the world of homosexuality as like being this like ultra masculine, like only women, like no women involved, only masculine sex drive. That's why
he hated the pickles, and then he hated men who had girlfriends, but more than them.
Exactly.
Chris has a
Go ahead, Aydin. Go ahead.
I just think that Chris has always had a hatred of masculinity that's been very clear for over a decade. That Chris has an anger and hatred towards masculinity.
Do you remember the Facebook about the score, the binding?
Yeah. Wait, when he first went to the I'm sorry that if I'm sending people by using Chris's pronouns, but I'll tell you why I don't think Chris is a trans woman. If that's a
I'm just using it because of YouTube. That's the only reason. I don't give a shit. But
okay. Yeah. So Chris, when they came out as a trans woman, was wearing like the skirt or whatever, the want woman fucking t-shirt. Chris is an autogynephile. Okay.
Oh, you said it, not me. You said it.
That's
but just to really clear, if a trans person came on the streamer that I've known in real life,
I've known real trans people.
I will respect their pronouns. I just think that this has been going on in my country for years with the Jordan Peterson thing, but I will respect the pronouns. I just don't think that.
No.
Yeah,
I don't think Chris is in any way legitimate. I've known people who are FTM and NTF, and I'm sorry, but I will not respect Chris's pronouns because Chris has been pretty fucking overt that the reason why Chris is transgender is because, one, of trolling, and two, because Chris thought it was a good way to pick up lesbians who would want to date him. And I will not
Oh my
use
God.
Chris's preferred pronouns. I don't give a fuck because Chris, first of all, raped his mother, so I don't care. And that's not the
Oh,
reason why.
again,
respect
Aydin,
his-
we got the YouTube algorithm.
Sorry. Not
Sexually assaulted. But that,
sexually
Yeah.
assaulted his mother, and secondly, because I don't believe that I'm really sorry, Lev, but
oh no, it's alright. It's alright.
because Chris, I don't believe has ever been. I don't think Chris knows what's going on. Chris is living within a very warped perception of reality and has been for the last 15 years. But Chris's autogynephilia is very, very overt.
Yes.
When you
Even
look
to
at,
the point of being dysphoric with the pickle and with the. Yeah.
well, because Chris specifically, let's talk about the pickle man. Chris specifically said that they didn't have any issue with their own penis, but they had an issue with looking at other penises.
Interesting.
So they hated looking at other penises, but didn't mind their own, which don't look at that picture because it exists.
Oh, the bent duck.
The bent duck.
Yeah. They have a term. They have a medical term for why it's like. They have a specific medical term for like
Traumatic
some men.
masturbatory syndrome.
Oh, really?
Well, traumatic masturbatory syndrome is when someone rubs their pee up against a bed for a long period of time, and it can result in a bending of the
Holy
phallus.
shit!
You think that's what bent it? I thought it was like
genetic
Peyronie's.
It might be genetic, or it could be because of traumatic masturbatory syndrome. I don't know. I'm not a fucking medical doctor. I have a fucking master's degree in communication. I don't fucking know.
Oh my god! It's almost more spicier to believe that CWC masturbated.
Bent their own duck.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Oh
But,
my god.
All right, man, this is a pretty fun info hazard ridden stream, and
Sorry.
I'm no info hazard
No,
is
but
in what Saturnalia was talking about earlier.
Yeah, to finish off, what else were you gonna say about?
What I was trying to say about Chris and their obsession with women is that and the trans issue, which I find really bizarre, is that I think that Chris found, and Chris would tell you this when you read their own posts, which is that they found this weird acceptance within the gay community.
Yes.
And so all of a sudden, Chris found for the first time in their life that they were accepted by people when they said they were trans. And
Unconditionally.
Yes, unconditional acceptance. Exactly, Gio. And that was, I think, what happened is that basically Chris found that for the first time in their life, they were accepted. And it was by the gay community, particularly the trans community.
The
who
gay
didn't
community?
ask fucking questions.
Yeah.
I said specifically the trans community who didn't ask questions about this shit.
No, sir, I was doing the AJ Styles meme. The gay community.
So now, guys, I think we're going to go to final thoughts on the matter. We're going to end earlier tonight. So let's go to Saturnalia. You had a fantastic thread for us. Eventually, I want to have a stream where I invite Easy Peasy, who, I don't know if you know Easy Peasy. He was a former admin of Encyclopedia Dramatica. And I would love to get deeper into this whole thing.
He's a great guy also. Definitely have Easy Peasy on.
Definitely,
I wonder how he'll react when I accuse him of being a vehicle for the American intelligence apparatus.
But one last thing, Saturnalia. He's
an Israeli, so I don't think he'll like that very much.
Oh god! Oh no! Wait, you mean the founder of what the media lamented, like the media labeled as like a far right neo Yahtzee website?
No, he's not the founder. He's the admin.
He's an admin.
No, but he's
an Israeli. Yeah.
So, but like they would use like Yahtzee imagery, but that was just to shock people. That wasn't like a sincere, like, it was like they were fucking Andrew Anglin or the Daily Storm or like the media. I remember when they did the video of the van exploding, that they said like, well, 4chan Encyclopedia Dramatica, they're like,
steroids.
Yeah, they're like Stormfront on steroids. Yeah, it's like, but Saturnalia, what you said in the thread about the schizo writing of Chris Chan, that Chris references to heavy pornography and ritualistic masturbation, his Gnostic aspirations of becoming a god, telling people they too can have reverence for synchronicity. It all just seems to fit somewhere. It seems that the way that a lot of like the very public voyeuristic acts, it seems very like I remember like Crowley would like, and himself being an MI6 agent allegedly,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
he would have like sex with underage girls and do like these tantric rituals and like do the like. Sorry, I'm very fucked over from like Crowleyites because we had that disastrous Thelema stream with
I
this
wanted to
fucking
come on that
TikTok.
so bad.
Yeah,
One of these
yeah.
days I'm going to go off on my tangent of reactionary Thelema, but
Oh,
I was looking forward to making her a little upset with that, maybe.
yeah, but unfortunately we kind of salted the soil with that. The TikTok girl. That was a terrible. I'm not gonna bring up that stream. That was terrible. But it seems that a lot of like the recycling and the Joule and the like, a lot of it seems like even just like admitting to like hours long sessions of like gooning pornography. Like
it's all porn addiction. I think Chris's
yeah.
biggest issue is a sincere porn addiction.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Well, that and his parents. His parents
yeah.
and the porn addiction, I think, are the two big issues.
But do you think like there was any sort of like sexual boundaries that were placed, like even when Bob was alive? It seems like
boundaries. See, so this is important, okay?
Yeah.
So I have a quote here. Should I post this in the Discord? I have a quote here from Crowley, and I was meaning to put it in the thread. I was writing that at 4 a.m. and I forgot. I have a couple of cool quotes here I could probably post.
Oh yeah, yeah. So we're not done yet, friends. We're not done yet.
Let's see here. So this is a quote from Discord. Hold on. Sorry.
And please subscribe.
I need to post it so that I can read it.
Subscribe, Patreon. Please, we're doing amazing streams. Tomorrow, we have Logo de Atlas and Amy Therese going against each other.
That's right.
Imagine two hyperventilating autistic people screaming about politics in China. Imagine that. You know what I love when Amy Therese, when she's on stream, she does this thing where she's trying to plow through a point. So she'll fucking raise her voice just to finish it. Like, I love that. I love you, Amy Therese. I love you. She's a good friend of ours. But please subscribe, Patreon. If you subscribe at $5, you will get access to our Discord. You will also be a supporter of ours. You will get a shout out. If you become a $20 patron, you'll get a magnet from Lev's father.
Yeah, check this out. By the way,
this is our Brittany Venti moth magnet that you could get at $30. And each $30 patron, the magnets will renew annually.
That's
and
right.
If you get $20 patron, $30 patron, you will get a woodcut print from me. One of 5 designs I will pick at random, but if it's a smaller one, I will give you 2 from the That Feel When No GF series. I basically do woodcuts of the Wojak figures hugging each other. So if at the $50 tier, you will get all of the above. You will also get a request to do your own custom magnet within reason. So I think Lev's father, he won't carve out a bent duck for you, but like you also get
unless it's a literal bent duck.
If it's a duck, he'll do it if you want one. But you will also get a Warhammer 40K figure that's custom painted. You will get a poster print of any episode. If you want a poster print of Christine Weston Chandler from this episode, you will get it. You will also get another painting by me in the Bob Ross style that I do. It's like a 9x12, like a smaller
this
Bob
sounds
Ross.
like the coolest. Like, I don't know why are people not signing up for this? This is like
That's
the best
right.
deal ever.
Exactly.
Best deal I've ever heard of.
I will actually, Lev, can you put the woodcut? I mean, we can't see it, but do the video. This is where I do it. But so Saturnalia, please go ahead. It was dead air, so I had to shill when it was dead air.
No, you did a great job. So anyway, Crowley says the whole and sole object of all true magical and mystical training is to become free from every kind of limitation. Okay. And Christian has made a statement basically identical to that effect, that in C197, there is no limitation. There's no limitation on what is possible. There is no limitation on what is permissible. Okay.
Wow. Everything is permitted. Yeah.
I mean, that's a nice way of describing it.
Everything is true and everything is permitted. Yeah. Hassani Saba. But,
I mean, Aleister Crowley may have said that, but Chris doesn't understand that whatsoever. You know.
No, I think he does.
On a conscious.
I think that there is an upwelling of primeval Gnostic mystery in Chris. I think that Chris Chan represents an unconscious urge.
Chris just wants his stupid shit to be real.
Yeah, that is probably no, but on a deeper level, I get what Saturnalia is coming from. I think
I do too. I just don't think that I think that's a very, very interesting quote, but I don't think it necessarily applies to Chris, because I think Chris has lived in a fantasy reality for more than a decade. And so that's, you can blame that on the trolls, and I think it is on some level their fault. But you can't, this is my final statement, I guess. You can't blame Chris R-wording his mom on the trolls. That's something Chris did on his own volition. You can't blame any of this on people who have messed with him. Or her, I don't care, whatever fucking pronoun you want to use. That's the thing that's really irritated me, though, the pronoun policing.
Did you see that tweet that went viral, 25,000 likes, about to like delegitimize Chris's pronouns is means that you don't respect trans people or whatever?
No. Well, that just shows okay, people who say stuff like that don't know who the fuck Chris Chan is.
No, they're Zoomers. They don't.
No, they don't know. They don't, and that's the whole issue is with this whole Chris stuff, is that they don't actually know who Chris is. They don't understand the person they're defending, but honestly, go ahead and do it and delegitimize your own movement if that's what makes you feel happy, I suppose, because you are actually actively harming trans rights by trying to subsume Chris into your movement. It's not going to work out for you, because when normies hear about this stuff, when normie middle Americans hear about who Chris Chan is,
which they have with Tucker Carlson,
Yep. They're gonna think and say, oh, this is what trans people are like. You really want to own this person. Have fun and good luck.
I hope that there's a wave of boomers that will cut off their kids' tuition funds and will probably pull them out of university because the boomer conservative, they bitch about the indoctrination center. Meanwhile, they still pay for their, they send their kids to universities. It's like this boomer complacency. I don't know.
Well, what happened with Bella Yankee? Two boomers who are extremely rich sent their daughter to a C-tier university, and look what happened to her. She boiled hamsters alive.
Gio, I meant to point out before.
Something right out of Joe cartoon. If you guys
it's something right out of
Joe cartoon. What'd you say, Saturnalia?
Gio, you were talking. I was in the restroom when you were saying this, but you were saying how this is something out of a movie with Bella. You've seen Fatal Attraction, 1987.
Yes, right? Yeah.
She's literally a bunny boiler. This is like a saying.
Fuck.
Oh my god, it is Fatal Attraction. Holy shit.
Fuck. Oh my god. A really fucked up femcel version of Fatal Attraction. Yeah, it's.
Oh man. All right, Turkey Tom. Any final thoughts? And by the way, you see, Tom Turkey here has grown in the midst of this stream. He's gotten enough calories to which he is his full, beautiful turkey self, as you can see over here.
Are you gonna sniff his farts like Bella did?
Oh yeah, the fart sniffing! Oh god, fart fetish Fiona right there. That's
there's a hole over here, so maybe this is where the farts come out.
Squeeze it, Lev. Squeeze the air out. Squeeze the air. Do it.
Can you not? Just don't.
Asthma, this shit.
I can already smell it through the screen. Yeah, I mean, totally a fucked up story. A very sad turn of events. I kind of expected Chris Chan and that story to kind of peter out. To be honest, I didn't expect it to spiral into this like a month ago. If you'd asked me, I don't think I would have thought this would happen. But now we get to see Chris all over the news. So I guess we're well on our way to a Netflix or Amazon Prime documentary about it.
Yep.
But there will never be a Wikipedia page, unfortunately.
No, but there will be making of a motherfucker. I sure hope.
Making of a motherfucker. This has been this stream, I think, has been one of the more memorable. I thought last week's stream on CWC was something else, but I think that now that we've gotten more information about this girl, and we've went down some very interesting rabbit holes thanks to just like I have to commend Saturnalia's fastidious research into all things occultic. And I think like this stream has like been one of our best. And I'm very thankful to both of our friends, Turkey Tom and Aydin Paladin, for coming on. And hopefully we can grow to such fastidious heights. And I'm speechless right now. I've had there's been so many info hazards and so many clippable moments on the stream that my mind is very trying to do its best to process this. I think I'm gonna have to go lie down after the stream. My God, I don't know.
Please lie down with your cats. So guys, follow Aydin Paladin on Twitter if you have not done so already. Follow Saturnalia Sundown on Twitter if you have not done so already. We got only 3,187 followers. That is not enough for a man as brilliant as Saturnalia right here.
Oh yes.
So please
He
follow Saturnalia.
is really one of the most prolific thread men on Twitter right now.
Yeah,
wow.
Your
I am when I don't take a 4-month-long break for no reason.
Yeah, I know. You got to keep it up, bro. You have to do some more. I truly think that when it comes to the prolific thread men on Twitter, I think that Saturnalia is up there with Zero HP Lovecraft, and really just the type of shit that he's doing. Amazing. And also,
Definitely.
please, after this stream, I'm going to finish it. Please go and watch the Turkey Tom's hour-long comprehensive documentary on PewDiePie. I mean, fantastic. PewDiePie, I truly think that he is secretly based in Red Pilled, and he's Sun and Steel Pilled, reading Yukio Mishima. And I think that
he also read Plato's Republic.
Yeah, I truly think that if Zoomers have to follow any one celeb, it should be PewDiePie. But it should be Turkey Tom and Aydin Paladin. But
I don't know about that.
Maybe not yet. We'll
maybe not to those heights yet.
Yes, a little growing to do before I get there.
Definitely check out PewDiePie and check out Turkey Tom's video on.
Check out PewDiePie. Small name.
I know. Yeah. Only 115 million. Yeah, small creator.
Well, speaking
I
of
love Pewds. Watch him every day though.
All right, and also follow me on Twitter over here, twitter.com/LevPo. I'm going to be posting a lot more dreams. I'm going to be posting a lot more artwork, the NFTs that I've been working on. Yes, they're going to be posted, and also go to youtube.com/Lev Polyakov for my animations. Check out Only Love, check out Fantastic Plastic, check out that weird Pokemon animation that I did. So here we go, youtube.com/Lev Polyakov.
And go to youtube.com/Giant Productions.
Hells yeah, right? Giant Productions.
Mostly keep to art theory. I published yesterday the second part of my dramatic reading and commentary on the Book of Revelation. I'm up to book 5 to 9 now. And it really gets, let's say it's getting spicy in the Book of Revelations, literally. So
the Book of Revelations gets spicy?
Oh, I know, right?
And now time for Super Chats, because we've had quite a few Super Chats in here. Yeah, we do not want to forget. Listen, guys, I appreciate anything that you guys give. I'm not Stefan Molly meme, okay? You guys can send $1.
People blame Stefan Molyneux for freaking out on that one guy. The guy to do it first was fucking TJ Kirk, the amazing atheist, where he had the disastrous stream with fake Sagan where they're fucking waving a Glock around getting drunk. And he's like, that fucking guy, and he's ban him. He only gave us $1. Like, that's
way before.
Oh, God, yeah, I remember that. Holy shit.
Yeah. Years before Molly meme, and it was with that Cody Weber guy that was kind of like the Janny for TJ Kirk. I don't know what happened to that guy. But,
so here we go. Nick Larson, $9.99. Just want to say thank you for the content over the years. Me and my wife are expecting our first child, and I'm entering the RCIA process this fall. Gio, you're the man. You've helped me a lot. We've said that before, but I think it bears repeating again. Next, we have Nick Larson again, $4.99. Marshall McLuhan tried to warn us.
Oh, yes.
Oh, that's an interesting person to bring up, but okay.
Next, we have Matthew Medietz, $5 Super Chat. I was attacked in Quartzsite, Arizona by satanic hippies that lived in the trees. I found it the hard way where people go. The desert is Silk Road for corruption.
Wow. That's very true. Oh, by the way, one last shout out to my boy Philip Daniel. He is an amazing next level composer, and he does pretty much like any video I have of painting or otherwise with music. He does the intro song to my Book of Revelation series. Go to his YouTube channel. It's in the comments. Philip Daniel. It's with 1 L. If you're into like any type of like 20th century orchestral or atonal music, like very high level stuff, he's the man. And I don't even know how he does it, to tell you the truth. But yeah, sorry, Lev, go ahead with the super chat. I just had to shout him out.
Oh,
right
definitely.
now,
So next we have Super Iron Bob, $5. Say it once, say it 1,000 times. We are forever living in the shadow of Bernays. The hubris to manipulate en masse is a price we pay each day.
Hey,
Wow.
Super Iron Bob.
Certainly
Yeah.
true. Certainly
And
true.
Super Iron Bob is amazing. He's always here with us. I really appreciate him.
Yeah.
So
Isn't the guy who's affiliated with Netflix like the great
founder
grand?
of Netflix.
Is
Yeah.
He's the great nephew of Bernays.
Oh my God. Shit.
All right, so next, oh, and by the way, so we have Ramaz Draven here in the chat. So he and Super Iron Bob are both $50 patrons. So once again, that is a reminder, patreon.com/breaktherules. Become a patron today. And like Ramaz said, become a $50 patron, okay? This is very important that you guys who have been able to get into Elysium or whatever, or in Agartha right now, send us some of your Agarthan money, and we'll appreciate it. So anyway, next Super Chat we have in here comes from Colin Becker. Colin, another great patron of ours, says, drunk on... Okay, even though he said you don't have to read this, Lev, I still will. Drunk on hard seltzer, listening to the stream, gazing at the crucifix above my bed. You don't have to read this, Lev. Next, we have Super Iron Bob, $5. This is the last super chat I see here. After extended exposure to info hazards, remember to avert your eyes from the monster and then plug and find some beauty in your world. I think that is a great end statement for today's stream, and I really appreciate everybody for coming in. Please follow everybody here. Oh, opinion discarded, $5. I used to know the guy that did the news at Duke. I'm not sure what exactly he's talking about.
Oh, the Duke lacrosse. Wow, holy shit. That's ancient history. I don't know if Zoomers know about the false allegation thing. Was the Duke lacrosse team. That was like, God, that was even before Gamergate. That was, man.
By the way, we have a comment from Bandy Gammy 5 minutes ago. Breaking: YouTube account Rzone has Bella interview leaked.
Wow.
Wow.
I'm searching for it, but
If
that
that's a
is
real thing. I have to. Look at
yeah.
that.
I have to.
All right, well, to be continued. All right, everybody, thank you so much for coming in. Be sure to subscribe, keep subscribing. We need those subscriptions. We need to grow. Check out all of our other content here. You see, we have tons of content. We have tons of amazing things here on BTR. We bring different people together as always, and we're going to keep doing it thanks to your help. All right, that's it, everybody. Tomorrow's stream, we are going to have Logo Daedalus, and we are going to have Amy Therese. That is the last link that I'm going to post over here in the chat for everybody. Just go in there.
Oh my God, I think it's real, by the way, the interview.
Whoa.
It's only like 2 or 3 minutes long, though. It's
I
like,
see there's 2 parts. One is 2 minutes, one is 5.5. So
yeah.
There
So
we are. All right.
oh my God, they used the pimple face photo. Oh.
All right.
It's not even pimple. She looks like she has like meth bugs or whatever.
Yeah, meth. Oh God.
Oh man. All right, guys. Take care.
All right.
Have a wonderful night. Mwah. Take care. Good
God
night,
bless.
everybody.
And
Subscribe to
goodbye.
Break the Rules.
Subscribe to
Too
Break
sweet.
the Rules. Bye bye.